All right, welcome everybody. Tuning in from all around the world, Arsenal fans and all the people, welcome to Arsenal Fan Circle. Pull up a chair. Haven't said this in a while, my hair. Pull up a chair. You're all welcome here. And I think Tony said he hates the countdown. He
I
hates
hate
the
my
30-second
countdown.
countdown. Tony, if we
You can,
jump right into it, you could say something that the masses don't want to hear.
Yeah, for
I
those
said
for
What
it
those
made
that
you
for
anyway,
those
Gary.
that
expect
missed
it, Gary?
Thursday, you
Did
missed
you forget
Tony's
Thursday?
show. I know it's Ray's
Ray, do you
channel,
have
but it was
amnesia?
Tony's show.
It was the Tony Show Thursday. If you have an opportunity just for that kind of entertainment value, go back and check it out. Go back and check it out.
Tony on
So,
2 coffees.
first one in the house, Tonic Explosion. That's my nephew, believe it
Hello,
or not.
hello.
Uh-oh.
Ready for the show. Helen's in here. Good evening, guys. We'll get into the introductions then. Is Oba's days numbered at Arsenal? I think that might be one of the first things up on the agenda. It certainly
Was.
seems to be the case. And I was telling Matt, all players' days are numbered. It's just a matter of how many days they're going to be. They all hang up the
I know
boots.
why Oba did what he
Unless
did,
you're
guys.
Zaka, then you keep getting re-signed.
I know why Oba did what he did, guys. You know what? Oba is Arteta out. Nice. That's why he did what he did.
But he's doing it the wrong way because he's going to be out.
Oh, damn it.
He
They
thought it was
already should
Arteta
be
out,
out.
but it's going to be Aubameyang out.
We don't want to get
Everybody
into
in the
another.
chat.
We don't want to get into another club versus mercurial talent. I don't know if I
Player.
can say mercurial.
Yo, what up,
talent.
Ross?
Club
Right.
versus highest paid player. So introductions got Matt and Gary up top with myself. I like that coordinated. Tony, my hair on the bottom. So yeah, listen. I think we should talk about the elephant in the room. Gary, you should start off because you were probably the first one who talked about the tattoo, right?
Yep. Yeah. Well, I saw the tweet or the tweet from the Instagram post that he put out there, and I'm like, I don't care if it was yesterday or today or whenever it was. It was probably a bad choice of posts. You're not going to be at the match, and then you decide, hey, I'm just going to post that I'm getting a tattoo. What?
No.
It's just not. It's not smart, and it doesn't. You're not reading the room when you do something like that. I mean, does he not understand that the team is so up and down? The last thing they need is some more gasoline to what some people think is a fire right now, and he basically didn't help himself. I mean, because you're the captain. You're the
name
captain,
only, Gary.
huh?
Name only.
It doesn't matter. Right now, he's the captain.
Yeah.
Every day, until that armband, until Arteta says it's not, he's the captain. And until Arteta realizes that that's not captain-like, we're gonna have to keep going through this over and over again. I mean, he disciplined his captain twice. All right,
How many of you do you think you'll strip it from him?
he has to. I think he has to.
Has to.
Me and Gary only two?
I think he has
Well,
to.
do we think that he'll get stripped of the captaincy?
Yeah.
Oh, you said
I think he absolutely should be. Whether I think he will be or not, I think it's only a matter of time. Whether that comes before the end of the season, I don't know. But he's kind of pushing
I
himself
think he
into the
will.
corner.
He has
isn't
to.
He has to. Yeah.
He disciplined him
Yeah.
twice, and people were saying he called him out twice now as a manager.
Yeah, the other time he came later.
Yeah.
He
So
was late.
you can't be talking about your captain like that if you're going to keep him as a captain, because it just doesn't. Once again, it's what is it? Talking out the back, out of the back of your mouth, or what do they call it? He needs to basically put his
At the
foot
back of
down.
your head.
If he can let
Yeah.
Guendouzi go, if he can, for what he did, then what's this is not better, because this is the captain. Right?
He's an ego player, though, right, Gary? So I think you're right in that it will probably spell the end for him, because if that happens, which we're all expecting it to, that he gets stripped of that captaincy, that's a dent in his ego. He'll probably throw his toys out the pram like he is already, and I think that'll spell the end for him.
Put
at the
that
club
post
as a whole.
out. That is
His
one of
tools
their
down.
toys going
Yeah.
out right there. I mean,
Yeah.
why would you put
Yeah.
that post up?
Yeah,
I'm-
I think his time's done.
On Thursday night, I said, you know what? I don't see Aubameyang doing an Ozil. If he's going to miss a match, I don't think he's going to put a post out that's going to,
No.
be controversial or anything like that. That's what I said on
that
Thursday.
type of stuff at Dortmund, Gary.
Huh?
Said he did that type of stuff at Dortmund.
Yeah, but I didn't think he was going to do it here because he was captain here. He wasn't captain there, was he? So I thought, yeah, he's not going to do that because he just saw what happened to Ozil when he did it. Right?
Yeah, but Ozil
Man, it's such a shame, guys, man.
Yeah.
It's such a shame.
And you know what?
We love Oba. All the years, man. All the years and all the work that he's done for us.
Yeah.
To throw it back, like what? It's almost like throwing it back in Arteta's face to say, you know what? I can do what I want because of all the circumstances that have allowed me to be here right now. But I mean, it's just such a damn shame, man.
Because, I mean, the one thing you wanted to hear from him is that I'm sorry that I let my team down. I'm captain and I let my team down.
Yeah.
Again, he never said anything the first time. He didn't say. He's probably not going to say anything this time. So then why are we going to believe that he's not going to do it again?
But then we've seen this the whole time, haven't we? When the club was in a really bad rut, he never came out and spoke to the press when we were under pressure. He let everybody else, he let all the youngsters carry the can, do all the press work. As soon as we start winning again, he comes out and is quite happy to face the media again. It's just example after example of being a really poor example to everyone else at the club, being a really bad example of leadership. He's more interested in wrapping. I mean, I've had it up to here with Aubameyang, to be honest. Yes, the guy's done a lot for us. Yes, he carried us, admittedly, for a season or two where he was banging in goals and no one else was. Absolutely grateful for that. Clearly a fantastic talent, but he's become a bit of a waste of space, and we can't have passengers in the team, and that's what he's become. He's become a passenger, and he's a bad example.
Absolutely.
Let me bring Tony in because Tony might have some counterbalance to this discussion.
Counterbalance? He's on our side.
Yeah.
First thing, I want Ray to admit I was right 2 years ago.
No, you were. Tony, you're never right.
I was right.
Let's move on to the next subject.
I was the only one on the panel that kept saying, "Don't sign the guy."
If there was 95% of Gooners were happy when we signed up Aubameyang.
I was the 5%.
Yeah, because we thought
we were the 5%. You get to have your moment in the sunshine now and tell us you're right.
To me, I don't know why, with $100,000 a week raise, he gets my captaincy. It shouldn't have went with it. He's not a leader. I don't know why he wears a armband at all. It makes no sense to me. He's totally undeserving of it. Did I give it to one of the strikers? Did I give it to Lacazette? Because my young players look up to him. But then we can carry on after this on who we think the captain should be. But
there's probably three.
There's
probably three good examples.
He doesn't have any qualities of being a captain. Late to practices, late to games. Eddie Nketiah was the best player under Arteta his first 7 games. Misses a team meeting. Then he fucking disappears for 3 months. He had a valid excuse on Luke not being there at the meeting on time. He sat there and talked to Arteta about it. He came out publicly to say, "Hey, I missed the meeting." I mean, that's what you want from the players. You want to take responsibility.
So
Uba does not do that at one bit, one iota.
Let me stay with Tony for a second because he is on a roll, rolling on from Thursday night. We want to keep this momentum going.
Just keep on giving me caffeine.
I've already said, which big club allows their captain to go abroad in midweek unless there's a family emergency? Why is there so much lack of accountability?
You know what? It was approved. It's not that it isn't that the trip wasn't approved. It's just that he was told he had to get back because of COVID restrictions. So when he comes back late, he basically puts himself on the bench. Sorry, not even on the bench.
Not even in the match day setup. Yeah, not even in squad.
So, and I have a feeling he didn't even let them know. Because if he lets them know for whatever reason I'm going to be late, at least Arteta doesn't have to go out there and talk about this disciplinary breach or whatever he said. I don't know what that means. Disciplinary breach. What does that mean?
Disciplinary breach. So agreed upon time to come back.
Yeah. To
be not tardy.
Is that what a disciplinary breach means?
It's just a breaking of the rules, isn't it? It's just another way
Yeah,
of saying
yeah.
breaking the rules. Yeah.
He uses these big words.
It's
I don't
just
know
a
if
nice
he
way of
uses
saying
you're
they're
into
breaking
that.
the rules. Yeah.
Trust the process. Not a big word.
Yeah.
If you have a big meeting, Gary, and all of your colleagues are there on time and you're continually 10, 15 minutes late and you're an important part of the setup, you're the captain, you're one of the leaders on the field, and you're continually 10 or 15 minutes late, is not setting a good example.
What was funny was watching Arteta sweat as I kept asking him question after question about Uba. He just kept trying to defer, kept trying not to talk about it.
Now, we'll get into the what I have down here. Aubameyang disciplined due to, as Gary said, late return from an agreed and approved trip to France. We do not know the circumstance. It could have been family, it could have been friends, but you know, your employer is giving you some leeway to go and do something you need to do.
It's not like it takes long to get there.
You need to give the respect back, Tony.
Get in the channel, you're there. You're there in no time, Ray. No excuse to be early.
I'm going to stay with Tony, like I say, because the rest of us have. We'll get our airtime. Don't worry about that. So, Tony, you're getting your time up front. I'm going to throw this at you, Tony. Do you think Aubameyang just wants to be relieved of the captaincy at this point in time? It's too much for him.
I don't think he wants it. I don't know why he got it. If he said he wanted it when he signed his contract, or is just Arteta's little gift to him for whatever reason. Like I said, with COVID, I never thought he should be getting a raise. To me, it just made no sense at all. When you don't have fans and stands, you don't know when they were coming back. Why do you increase him? Give him maybe 10,000, 25,000 more, but he has a 45,000-pound goal bonus. Come on. He gets 45,000 every time he hits the back of the net. Now he can't do it, so he's only made under 200,000 on bonuses this year. But to me, I don't know why he had it. It makes no sense.
200,000.
I don't think he wants it. To answer your question, Ray, I don't think he wants it.
You don't think he wants it?
But I think what he's trying to do is get away this winter because he knows this system doesn't fit him. He wants to be playing somewhere else, and he'll be gone in January. Even though we're trying to sell Lacazette, which makes no sense to me, I'd let him see out his contract, maybe offer him another year, since the players do look up to him. But
he's going to have to get 2 years if he's staying, so that's why Aubameyang has to go.
Yeah,
if Lacazette stays, he gets 2 years. In my book, he would get 2 years.
I don't know if they'll give him 2 years or not.
He's not going to stay.
I don't think you will.
I mean, footballers want that security behind it. I think the Assemble said, did anyone notice Holding coming on? These players are holding back the young generation.
That didn't make sense to me because he said Gabriel had a yellow card.
We're given, yes, that is a sensible substitution in my opinion. Gabriel, he got that early booking, and we're all thinking.
You say that, but then in the previous match when Doctor has a yellow card and is basically dead tired after about 60, 70 minutes, you don't pull him. So
I got no answer for that one.
This is the Lego logic that we're talking about here.
Lego binary.
Gabriel to sit, but not for Lacazette, who's just come back from a knee injury.
Saka, not Lacazette.
Make sense of it for me, please.
Gary.
I can't. First time I came on your channel, I mentioned Aubameyang shows no ambition to sign with Arsenal again. Mahir, same kind of situation. Let's stick on Aubameyang for a little bit. We want to make this a little bit of a topic here.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to Aubameyang, majority of us will agree. We thought, okay, we want him to resign because it's Aubameyang. I mean, always scoring goals. I mean, season after season after season after season. And we were all like, okay, happy with it. You know what? Okay, yes, give him the captaincy as well. And it just hasn't worked out. I don't know what it is, but I just have a feeling if we had gotten rid of Arteta after Villarreal, we could have gotten the over of old, as per se. I don't know if you guys would agree with me, but I feel like a managerial change will bring so much that we are also missing. Because as you guys do know, I'm actually Arteta in. So, I mean, the guy's brilliant. Playing all our top players all the time. Grand Xhaka's in the midfield steel. And Partey, I
wants to
mean,
re-sign Eddie and Kedia.
he wants, oh my God, Eddie's just fucking brilliant, man. I don't know why he's refusing to sign his contract.
Mahir, you're bringing a Southern Hemisphere vibe to the show here. Like you're flipping my world over here. I know you're being.
No, I'm not a flip flop. Arteta out all day, every single hour, every single breath. I was being totally sarcastic, as you guys can hear in the whole tone of everything I said.
But like being facetious,
I was about to jump on that train with you. Then all of a sudden you lied to me, so I don't know what to believe now.
Yeah,
no. I'm not. I was being totally sarcastic. I'm not a flip flop, as you guys do know from Villarreal. Basically, I knew that this wasn't the code for us. I knew before Arteta signed because there were so many top managers. Even like a Luis Enrique, for example, if you don't want to go after a Simeone, the manager did the right thing but now he needs to show more balls and strip him of the armband. Absolutely, 100%.
Let me go. Tony and Matt here had their say. Let me go to Matt and then Gary. Matt?
Yeah, I just, I think he's been an appalling kind of show of leadership at the club. I just think he was never, ever leadership material. I don't know why he's ever been given that armband in the first place. I think for me, it's another player on his last big payday. Doesn't really seem interested to me. And I think he just, like I say, I think it was May said he just, does what he wants or has the feeling he can do what he wants. He's more interested in getting his cars wrapped and getting tattoos than playing for Arsenal Football Club. He's making it more about him than the club. And to me, that's a really bad place to be. I don't want to see him here in January, let alone the summer. Mm-hmm. I think we've got our priorities wrong in terms of who we're looking to sell. I think it should be Aubameyang that's gone over Lacazette. I know we said that a few minutes ago, but I completely agree with that. He goes missing. And yes, I can absolutely appreciate everything that he's done for us up until this point. He's banged in lots and lots of goals. He's carried us, but you're only as good as your last match and your last season. And unfortunately, he's really showing quite a bad attitude. If he showed the attitude and the will and the right kind of leadership skills and he was doing everything right, but just wasn't performing, I could probably stomach that a little bit and ride it out. But it's the fact that he's underperforming, but also showing really, really poor attitude. And to me, that's not good enough. Mm-hmm. So I really hope Arteta does strip him of the armband. I think there's other players in the squad that really should have that opportunity. You're looking at Gabriel, Tierney, Ramsdale. Those kind of three players for me would probably be the three pick. Maybe Lacazette as a more experienced player potentially. But we've got much better players who fit that kind of captaincy mold than Aubameyang. So I don't want to hear about him. For me, if you're hearing about players like that and disciplinaries, it takes away from everything you're trying to do that's positive at the club. So yeah, I'm done with him, to be honest with you.
We are going to get into the candidates. So we should talk about that in a little bit, though. But Aubameyang is the type of player who will be a great guy in the dressing room in a certain clique of players, I believe. He's not bringing everybody with him. And I think, as Matt said, it's detrimental right now. There's something festering. And I think the club has to maybe do something quickly for the benefit of our season, because this could spiral if it's continued, like Riddy said. Now have the balls to strip him of the captaincy and move on. What the Assemble said, what I'm saying is using another young player as part of the future, not the past. I completely agree with that one. Alan said, team needs the right balance with youth and experience. Not all youth and not all experience. We've been tooting that horn as well. Never forget, some of our so-called loyal fans wanted us to lose yesterday. And that is not something, I mean, I understand where people are thinking that, but it's not something that a fan should be.
You never want to see your team lose. Come on, who really wants to see their team lose?
Regardless of
that, you don't want to see your team lose.
I think the thing.
I know the reasoning behind it, though.
I get it. I understand the logic, but it's a really
Even
flawed
if we
logic.
lost the 2 relegation battling teams, he wouldn't have got sacked.
No, you see the way, Tony, the way they want to change the managerial. They're saying the way they want to change the manager. Firstly, shout out to everybody in the chats as well, man. Love you guys and appreciate you guys to the max. So as I was saying, it's either one or two things to get the manager out. Either we're losing back-to-back games badly, right? To like continuously, like 4 or 5 games.
Everybody else thought it was funny, Ray.
What's a novella?
A short novel. What do you think a novella is?
It's the description.
novella, bro.
I like to lay out a flight plan, Tony. Flight plan.
No wonder you're always busy.
But here, finish your point, and then I got to get to Gary on the.
Sorry, guys. I was just saying. What I was saying was the way they want to get rid of the manager. They say the only 2 ways is the fans get balls, and we go out of games early. I'm not saying the team, but like fans walking out on the games, not buying merchandise. Or the second way, if the fans are not doing that, which would be to lose back-to-back games badly to a lot of teams, Norwich, Burnley, West Ham, everybody, Tottenham, all of them. And that will obviously bring up such an uprising because like, oh my God, we lost to relegation, these 4, 5, 6, 7 teams. No disrespect to them. But that's the only 2 ways. And that's how they're seeing it. That's why they want us to lose.
All right, Gary, I didn't come to you, so pick up the Alba thread again. And Alex expects Aubameyang to play in the West Ham game. This Alba's Joe still has legs around. There's some uncertainty about the protocol still, and maybe there is a quarantining situation that needs to be addressed as well, Gary.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. It might work in our favor, and it might make it easy for Arteta to at least follow the rules and keep him out of there for a while. That would be really nice for us. At least I say nice for us, but it'll be nice for the situation.
Yeah,
it makes it easier for Arteta because I don't think he would have done this on his own. I think the players actually are making it easy for him to make certain changes, which he wouldn't have done. This is the same crap, different story, right? Yeah. Arteta could be making these maneuvers himself, but the players are putting themselves in situations where he has to make the move anyways. And it's like, you know what? Aubameyang was struggling all season. You needed to figure out what it was. It wasn't just playing him over and over and over again. It just wasn't going to work. So last year, Arteta's first year, it was Project Senior. Let's get the seniors in here. Let's see if they can help us get around. That didn't work. It blew up in their face. So they said, you know what? We're going to scrap that. Now we're going to go Project Youth. So we're doing that. But we're not going to do that in probably one of the most important positions on the pitch for us as a striker. You know, we got Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Nketiah basically are our 3 strikers based on the way that Arteta's, played them. And none of them are up-and-coming strikers. Right, Edouard. I can't even think of all the names.
But Eddie's on $70,000 a week.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't. I don't think money matters. I think that's an excuse we can say. Reason why they didn't do it, but they are spending money. They are spending money. If I said you can get our Edouard for 12, like it's no. It was between 12 and 15 to get a young striker who's 24 years old. That's nothing compared to what we spent. Right, we spent 50 on White, so they have the money. They could have spent another 12, brought Edouard in there, Nketiah, Lacazette, or Aubameyang. One of them would have probably forced their way out at that point because they realized somebody's going to the bench, right, and somebody's not going to get to play. They could have done that, and they should have done that. It's Aubameyang.
I mean, you look at the games this season, though, Gary. You think. If you think we'd started the season with a firing striker, the difference that would be making right now is huge. You know, you think about the chances we've missed, the point blank opportunities to score that Aubameyang has had and fluffed his lines or in issues games. That would be massive for us this season. you think if those chances that we could have had in the back of the net and the points we could have had, it's big. It's a massive area for us that we really do need to address. And I hope in January we do.
Goal difference.
They need to. And the question is, who, did they miss their window again? Are they a window short? Are they a window late again?
Yeah.
Because it was a problem last season. Aubameyang had his worst season since he's been here. Probably his worst season in like the last 8 years. And nothing in the preseason showed it was going to change. Like I said, he looked the better of the two coming into the season. Balogun, they needed to figure out an answer for him. Was he playing with us or was he going on loan? They didn't do either. So they, it is a big job, but this is Arsenal. They can afford to do certain things. So, I mean, we've been fixing our defense since he's been here. And that's not necessarily the problem because he always has an answer for that, right?
Is our defense any better than it was last season?
It's not any better. The problem has always been right in front of the defense. That's where we lose in midfield. And then you lose it in midfield, which is when we have problems, right? When we have problems, it's the midfield can't protect us. They can't protect that back line. And then it doesn't really matter who you have back there when they're constantly getting run on by, really good finishers, because that's what's happening, right?
That's exactly the issue, Gary. As Tony said, is our defense any better? I would say our defense, who we have in place, is better, but the numbers do not reflect that.
They don't, because it's the same problem, right? Goalkeeper could be the best goalkeeper in the world, but if the back line is poor, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
because a goalkeeper can't stop. You can't stop it.
Stop 10 players.
You can't stop really good. You can't stop somebody when they get a free run at the goal, right? So,
or else it looks like Newcastle, what Leicester did to Newcastle, that they walked some goals in. Tony, go ahead and let us know, is the AFCON still
going? You guys
going?
keep cutting me off. Don't let me finish.
It's going.
I feel like Tony.
Go ahead,
Tony. Why am I getting Tony treatment? What did I do to that?
You have to raise your hand, Gary.
What did I? No, I was still talking. I hadn't stopped. All right, I'll be Tony today. All right, I got it.
Gary, go ahead. Come on.
No, let Tony go. It's Tony's world.
Gary.
We're just living in it.
I'll wait. Go ahead, Gary.
Go ahead.
I'll wait. Lad.
Okay. Would we been any worse off if we had Saliba instead of White?
I don't think so. They make, to me,
How much better off would we been if we went and got Martinez from Inter Milan? How much
in
would
the air?
we spent 60 to 70 on him instead of spending 50 million on White?
Okay, so you know how this works. When one person stops talking, the other person can speak. This is how this works. Go ahead, Tony. You start off the interaction.
Okay, I'll rewind here. Would we been any worse off without Saliba? I think none of us really think we'd been that much worse off. That 50 million could have went to a 60, 65 million that Inter wanted for Martinez.
Martinez.
We'd been worlds better. We could have sold Uba and still got Tomiyasu or whoever came in at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it's
actually,
our priorities were always wrong. Balogun should have always been going out on loan. Eddie should have been sold. We could have got Edouard for 14.6 million.
Hey, Steve.
Ray gets mad if I say 14 million because he thinks it's closer to 15 million.
Oh.
So.
It doesn't matter. It's chump change at this point to the Cronkies. $750,000 is not a lot of money. We spent a lot of money.
But now we're sitting here. Eddie's done nothing. I mean, that's the biggest strike against Arteta. He keeps signing all these players for 4 years.
Yeah. Aubameyang, Major X says Aubameyang, ever since signing up a new contract, he's Mr. Cool and useless. Cash in, keep Lacazette instead. Gary, did you want to come back with something?
Yeah, no, I mean, as far as Aubameyang, I think one of the three has to go. I think two of them has to go, actually, to tell you the truth. So, and Nketiah should probably take that exit if it comes this time around. Yeah. He's already got paid half his salary for the season. Does he really need that 70 to go somewhere else where they want him to play? At some point, you're gonna want to have to play football, right? If you're looking at this as a club and you see him turn down an opportunity to go play for a team that wants him, and the only reason it seems is because he wanted his money. At least that's what I believe. Who's going to take him seriously that he's going to come and play? Because he came in and played really well, right? Last match when he came in, he looked really good, even though he missed a header. Otherwise, he looked pretty good there. Which missing a point blank shot as a striker seems to be the way of the world for us.
Yeah.
And then Lacazette comes in right, and takes a shot from well outside the penalty box.
It's funny,
and it goes in. So like, what's going on here?
We talked about this, Gary. If only our midfielders or wingers would start scoring, we'd be pretty.
We got all of that, and now we can't get a striker to shoot for it.
One thing or the other, feast or famine.
I would be really upset if Aubameyang comes back into the squad, much less starts.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay. What do we think that the club protocols were? You think it's a COVID thing, Matt? Now,
yeah,
we're gonna have to quarantine Mahir then.
Matt, don't you think it is one of those? I think that's what they meant by disciplinary breach, because
he went to
especially.
He went to a country under some COVID protocol.
It'll be COVID related.
That's even worse.
Related. They would have said, I'm sure they would have said you can go on the condition that you come back on this date so that you're ready for this game, and you've got this period to quarantine when you come back, and it would have been tight, etc. And at the end of the day, he's got to follow those rules. He's club captain, and he of all people. The thing is with Aubameyang as well, and I know we've been talking about him for a little while, but I almost get the vibes of Nicholas Anelka with him, with the dodgy brothers, the brother on his shoulder, the little devil on his shoulder, distracting him from his football. I think he's easily led as well. I mean, obviously this is Aubameyang, he's a full-grown adult and he makes his own decisions, but I think his brother is a bad influence from what I make out anyway. I just get those Nicholas vibes.
Yeah.
He needs, I saw the Russ's comment there. He hasn't bought a striker yet, and that's been our problem since he's been here. Even when Aubameyang was making shots, if he didn't play, nothing from Lacazette in that first year.
What we've been doing is riding along these experienced strikers, Lacazette and Aubameyang. They got us to a Europa League final. They got us to an FA Cup win, but now they're getting past their sell-by date. And as we mentioned, we have young strikers, and we don't have anybody who's going to take up the difference between those age gaps as in our strike. And let's just
we do have somebody that's going to pick up
as a striker.
Yeah, Odegaard.
Yeah, he is doing the job, and we are going to talk about.
I don't know if I'm supposed to take you seriously or not with that comment.
Gary, that's going to become your catchphrase now for me, no? I don't know whether
I would take him as a striker.
Odegaard is our 10. As much as we, he's playing. You know what? He looked good yesterday, and I was kind of, when I did a review of the game, we'll get into him, but he's fine where he is right now. We need a striker. That's what
we'll get into the game. We need a striker. Aubameyang may not even play on Wednesday due to this protocol. Nobody's knowing because Arteta is very short with the press corps right now and not revealing a lot. You either keep it under wraps or you give us a little bit more information, Mikal. You can't really have it both ways. Don't get angry in press conferences or get stern because you've opened up Pandora's box and now you don't want it. You just open it up just a little. Take
a little peek.
What happens next? Well, actually, I think we should.
Let's go back to last season real quick, Ray. If the media didn't leak it before, he would have started when he showed up late to the game. He would have started the match. He still ended up making the bench.
So you're saying
it wasn't for the media.
You're saying if it wasn't for the media, he wouldn't have disciplined Aubameyang.
Exactly.
Not sure I agree with that.
I'm not sure if I agree with that, but I don't have enough information to.
Did he still make the bench?
Argument up either.
Did he still make the bench, Ray?
Did he? No, I think he did make the bench. Yeah.
What was that? North London? Or was
Why
that
don't
any
you
other?
make the
Yeah, it's a North London derby.
And
Yeah.
guess what? Erdegaard did score that day as well. Mahir.
If
So
you're
there you go.
disciplining
He
the
can
guy,
play
he
that
doesn't start,
position.
right?
You're right.
You're
Erdegaard can play.
disciplining him, he
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
start.
He can be a new number 9. You're right, Mahir. Let's put you in place.
No, man, I'm being totally sarcastic. You know me already. But guys, you know what? I wrote down a list of players. So, for example, if we have to go in January and they have to do a little bit of spending,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of players that we can sell
Let's
to
get
make up
into
any
that.
money.
Let's get into that 1 second here. We'll take this question.
It's crazy.
Assemble has posed the question.
How do you
Probably
discipline a
at the time
player?
of our
Finding him,
conversation.
dropping him?
How do you discipline a player? By finding him and dropping him for something he's already done. That's what Aubameyang was expecting. He's showing and telling you he doesn't care what you do.
Can't say I don't disagree with that, in all fairness.
And maybe this is a ploy to say, I don't want to be captain. Just take me out of my misery.
Well,
Just,
you know what? That's the problem. We shouldn't be reactionary. This is Arteta's team. If he doesn't feel he has the right captain, they got to go. Right? For me. This is the same thing this is an Arsenal problem. It's not necessarily an Arteta problem. If you as a owner or a manager, right? Oh man.
Mahir, do you want to try our
Let go ahead, Mahir. Let's do it.
No thanks. No thanks.
No, think about it.
I love this
Hard
ball.
pass.
I've been going with the whole army routine of gymming and can Arteta please leave Arsenal? Of course, yes. That I've been saying all along. But like I'm saying, guys, I've been going on a strict gym routine, and this is also of my own doing. So if I don't gym, I'm gonna have to be growing this hair, which I don't want to be doing. And
Now,
yeah, I love this ball.
Are you
Not
shaving?
ball, but yeah.
Are you like white shaving that? Just to get completely off topic. How do you do that?
Yeah, I know. No. I do that. I just use a razor.
Okay.
I use a razor and just. Then I look like my brother Gary.
This is of the club's doing, Gary. You were saying.
Yeah, no. What I was going to say, if you're Arteta out, then you need to be complaining about KSC, Edouard, Vinay, Board.
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
those are the only
all of
people
them.
that get Arteta out, and those are the only people that it doesn't matter what he does in terms of results, is whether they think he's the future of Arsenal.
But that's what I'm saying. It's all of them.
No,
it's the whole band.
Arteta right now is doing exactly what they want because he hasn't got any. I don't think he has any fear in his voice when he talks about what's going on. So obviously they're like, do what you got to do. They don't have,
you know what he's probably telling Gary is that we still have some way to go in terms of changing the personnel and changing the culture of the club, and they're buying that. They're eating that up.
If they knew football, they would know that bringing in Arteta requires a lot of things, and they didn't support him at all. He needed better recruitment.
Yeah,
he needed a better board. He needed better man management. And
better football director.
All those things. Yeah, if you're going to bring in a rookie manager, a coach, he was a coach, right? He's not a manager. They just happen to give it to him. But if you're going to bring in a rookie coach, then you need to supply him with everything he needs to make him successful. And they didn't do that. Then they gave him the management badge and said, here you go. You haven't actually earned it, but here you go. Here's a management badge. Try and do this. And he's only seen Wenger do it, and to some degree, Pep do it, and to some degree, Wenger do it. So he hasn't actually had to do it himself. So now he has him to do something new, right? So it's basically on Arsenal. If you're Arteta out, and it's just I don't see that happening because I think they like the project, but I think they're holding him back because they're asking him to do too much. Yeah, same thing. Same problem with Aubameyang. They're asking him to do too much, and everybody says, "Well, he's supposed to even." It doesn't really matter. He's the captain. He should show up. Whatever the coach says, you do it, and you just make sure when you get in front of the goal, you score. A little bit different here. Because Aubameyang had been scoring for years, and now he's not. So that's a little different. Arteta's never done this job, so why can't you? I'd rather them spend the $50 million on making sure everything around Arteta is great. Get Overmars in there. We can get Overmars, you could get Ragnet in there. You could have done all of that because Ragnet doesn't seem like he's not coaching next year, right?
Yeah.
You could have a really solid,
looks like
structure in your team.
It looks like
and all best for the future with that. So I think they could have done a lot. They don't want to spend money on those, which it's like, why not? Why not?
Yeah, you got
to keep money on a manager. So why not make sure everything around him is quality? Benai's not quality. Adu's not quality. You can do better than that, right?
Yeah.
They're all clowns.
You mentioned,
the best assistants and that they could go out there and get. Arteta is, he's playing with a short deck.
We lost 2 board members that we haven't.
You mentioned Ragnick. It seems like Ragnick left. He picked up Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's manual from when he left in the office, and Ragnick is playing the same way because United were not awe-inspiring yesterday.
In the last game,
I'm not asking for the coaching part. I'm asking for all the other stuff that he's really good at, right?
Yeah, the whole team. The whole behind the stage team.
Above the manager and the coach. So
definitely,
I think that's what we still need. These guys are learning. Arsenal's happy to let that happen. So it's Arteta out is basically KSC and board and management structure out kind of thing. That's where
Edu out, all of that management.
But even if you did that, guys, you're talking about an even bigger restructure than we've got at the moment. You then send back even further. It'd take us even longer to get back.
No, I'm just saying if that's where they want to go, Arteta's not going.
If we went and got 10,
we're a good 3 or 4 years away at least from.
So Gary is saying Arteta's not going anywhere. So let's give him the tools that will make him successful.
I don't disagree.
All right, Tony.
You have a novice manager, as Ray likes to refer to him, Fat Frank. He got sacked last year and won the Champions League. They're still in the top 4 now. If you bring in Overmars, bring in Ten Hag to coach, we're sitting 6th now. We'll be 7th when Tottenham gets their 2 games in hand. But you can't tell me this team wouldn't be a top 4 automatically if you bring those 2 in.
No,
they know what they're doing.
I can't tell you.
They know what to do with young players.
I think it's very fine margins right now.
They know the culture of the club.
I think we're talking about with Arteta anywhere between 5th and 7th, honestly. If you put a Ten Hag and Overmars in, there's really only one more spot that you could potentially go up, and that would be 4th place. And that's what we want as well.
But the thing is, like Tony's saying, Ten Hag knows what to do with young players. He's managed players. He's managed young players to get very far. Even if I'm not mistaken, in the Champions League, was it Champions League? Or what was it?
Almost semi-final.
There we go.
That crazy game.
There we go. There we go. He knows what to do with young players. Overmars is your technical director. He knows how to bring in young talent if we're going to go with the whole project youth. That's what Tony's trying to explain. And I agree. Because I think even when we were winning, when we were on that unbeaten streak, I was thinking to myself, it's not Arteta in. It's that we still can be winning, but certain players won't be burnt out, won't be catching on injuries. Players will be returning to their former selves, basically. Like Thomas Partey, for example. What's happened to Thomas Partey, fam? That's on the manager.
As Steven said, Aubameyang doesn't want to be captain, and we don't really want him to be captain. So I'm going to go around the house. What happens next? And if you want to relieve him of the captaincy, Matt, who would your ultimate candidate be?
To me, I quite like defenders being captains. For me, centre back. So the thing is, there's 2 sides to this for me, because I think from a personality type and being an out and out leader, you've got people like Kieran Tierney and Aaron Ramsdale who are very vocal, showing their performances as well. You've got the likes of Gabriel, who are very kind of, I don't think they have necessarily fantastic English, but they lead by example in terms of their performances.
He's still talking a lot, so he's
still talking a lot. Lacazette, obviously experienced, an older member of the team.
It means nothing. Doesn't mean anything.
What doesn't mean anything? Sorry, Gary.
That Overmars signed an extension.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything. Arsenal could still come in there and buy out his contract if they really wanted him. So that was going to be the problem. That was going to be the case anyways.
For me, though, on the captain side of things, I think Kieran Tierney, being he seems to be a little bit injury prone. So that would be the one thing that probably puts me off him a little bit. Yeah. I probably would give it to Gabriel, I think.
Okay.
That's who I would probably give it to. If Kieran Tierney was fit consistently, I think I would give it to him.
Great candidates. Gary?
Yeah, I mean, there's 3 players, Tierney, Gabriel, and Ramsdale for me that are on the list of candidates for it. I think Gabriel should get it and Tierney be his backup when he's on there. So, Ramsdale is basically he is the voice of the team right now. Right, he is the voice of the team right now, and I don't know. If you said you had to give it to someone, Ramsdale or Gabriel would be the easy that either one I'll be happy with.
Yeah,
and I know you don't usually give it
to
the goalkeeper, but I don't see why not.
How do you feel about you don't?
He's commanding the back line just like a center back is, right?
Yeah.
Right now he's commanding the back line as opposed to a center back who's commanding the back line along with the guys in front of him. So. We need some leadership, and Gabriel shows it all the time, and we see it with him. Maybe he doesn't speak the language; English isn't his first language, but he's always in the wrong position because of the guys around him are out of position. He always seems to be in the wrong place at the right place at the wrong time, kind of thing. Because everybody he can see it, and maybe if he gets the lead, he gets that armband. He can command a little bit more, but yeah, I think it's easy between Ramsdale and Gabriel. So.
Yep, and for me, it would be Kieran Tierney if his injury record was something you could hang your hat on. 30 games in a league season, but that's not the situation. So unfortunately, Kieran Tierney maybe is not an option for me. And then it's between Ramsdale or Gabriel, and whatever the captain gives you, you want to see it on the field, and I think. For that reason, I would pick Gabriel because he seems to be ever present in the team, and he has a level of consistency alongside Ramsdale that you can rely on. You can rely on Gabriel, and we've also seen whatever fight there is in this team when we are being wrongfully done by opposition hard men. Gabriel is usually the player who's on the scene, the only player on the scene. Tony,
I
can skip over if you want to. If you want to type.
No, I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Your candidates.
Mine was pretty much the same for Matt listed. Probably until the season's end. I just do Lacazette because the young players look up to him.
That's a backward step, though, isn't it? Do you think that's a backward step?
No.
You have an opportunity to do something new and exciting where the team is headed, the direction of the team.
I mean, if it was me, I would appoint a new one right now, but...
You think, but I don't think Lacazette has the same concerns as Tierney. I don't believe he can play the way he did yesterday and do that in a short week.
It was Southampton yesterday. Let's temper.
When he plays West Ham, I don't know if I'm going to get this. He's going to come out if he starts in that match. Based on history, unless something new's happened, he's got some new treatment plan. I have no doubt in that's going to be a tough match, short week.
Well, that's why you have a captain and vice captain. Gary.
That's what I mean, but we need somebody consistent, constant, and we know right now Gabriel so far has been the most constant player outside of Ramsdale. That's why for me it doesn't matter which one of those two because they're always like.
Can I go through my list, Gary?
No.
Yeah, and then we can critique it. Go ahead. Thursday, Tony. Go ahead, Thursday, Tony.
To me, the second one would be you'd want to go with Tierney, but he just doesn't have the fitness to be in there. He'd be my vice captain. I like Ramsdale, but I'm not giving it to a goalkeeper. To me, it has to be Gabriel. He's a one out there that's when players are getting fouled hard. He's the only one shouting. He's the only one going up there. Nobody else is doing it. Tierney doesn't do it. Ramsdale probably would, but then he'd be out of position and be in trouble. But to me, it's Gabriel. He's got the leadership quality. To me, I think he's learning English. Last year, you had Ryan go in there talking to him in Spanish, telling him what to do. But to me, he's always pointing. He's always communicating.
Yeah.
To me, he's the perfect person for it. I don't think our fans appreciate how great of a talent he is, really. Next to Saka, I think he's our second best player.
Tony, can we bring back Gallus? Probably not. Really sorry about that. Arnie's.
I mean, I don't understand. I mean, I'll never understand why goalkeepers can't be a captain when a team needs it.
They can be. I think David Seaman was captain for a period of time as well.
I don't have a problem with it. I just prefer centre backs, but I mean, Ramsdale would be a fantastic candidate
for this team right now. Why?
Why not?
Because when Ramsdale came into the team, things changed, and we all noticed it right away. We all said, "You know what?"
I think if you, like you said, if you put Ramsdale or Gabriel in the list,
you'd not be disappointed, would you?
Nobody would have a complaint.
Not be disappointed at all.
I believe. We're not talking about Ben White. I wonder, would Ben White be maybe a candidate? He's English.
Benjamin.
Gabriel has to help White right now.
Yep.
And we don't.
I hear who's on your short list.
Short and sweet, Gabriel. I'd love to give it to Ramsdale. I'd love to give it to Tierney. Tierney, inconsistent. He's played with a lot of injuries at the moment. And Ramsdale, currently with his form, and the passion that he's showing, I'd love to just give it to him and say, you just lead the boys to victory every single time. So Gabriel, nice and short and sweet.
Oliver Kahn. And Arnie put forward Erdegaard a little bit earlier as well, so it's a good shout. But maybe not the player we want to be captain.
I would love to have a midfielder as captain, but I don't think we
don't have that profile.
You know what? You don't
have a midfield.
You shouldn't even have mentioned it, because now Arteta heard you say midfielder and he heard you say captain.
Ooh.
And he's going to run with it. So Tony, thank you. Thank you, Tony.
Gary, are we going back to X? Are we going back to X?
I've heard multiple people say that they would not be surprised.
Yeah, that would be. I would completely be a problem.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh my God.
It's a small problem, man.
Right, you want to send Uncle Artie a Christmas card if he did that?
Uncle Artie, I would send him a Christmas card, yeah, for sure. He's captain of the national team. What the tie? Benjamin Shite.
Benjamin Shite.
All right.
Do you know what, though? Arnie's point about Ramsdale not getting it because it'd be too big for him at the moment. I think there's a fair comment in that. I think he's got a freedom to be vocal and he's got a freedom to be a leader at the moment without having the pressure of having that responsibility on him. I think let him do his thing. Let him be a leader in his personality, but don't lumber him with the armband just yet. I think that's a really good point, actually. Let him show his leadership skills.
Whatever player you give an armband to, it's going to be the same concerns. Gabriel,
I think the pressure ramps up, doesn't it, when you're giving it formally?
But I'm saying that's for everybody. So you got to choose who can handle that armband on their wrist.
I think he could handle it, but I just quite like the fact that he's so new to the team.
Imagine coming from Sheffield United and had that online abuse from the fans, or Aaron Ramsdale, abuse from our friends. Yes, many of us questioned, maybe not his ability, but the price tag. So he had all this coming in, and within a few matches, he had taken the number one shirt and excelled in that, and I think he's grown into it. We need to be careful about these things, Matt. You're right, but a lot of our 95% of our team are young kids.
True.
So we want to move forward. One of them is going to be the captain.
It's 90% of the team that actually is going to play.
Yeah.
Because we are still old. I mean, it just happens that we only play most of our players that are under 25, right? Almost 100% of our players under 25 play.
Yes.
Most of those start.
and we are the youngest. We are the
choice.
youngest combined age, the youngest average age of the Premier League, and we're working against those metrics right now, trying to put ourselves in a good season. Mahir, did you want to jump in with something?
No. I just wanted to put my hands up to say I was one of the people that slated Ramsdale coming into our club. And look how he's proven us wrong.
I think a lot of people question it. It's okay to put your hand up and say, listen, I questioned it, but he has totally answered all of the questions.
And long may that continue.
Yeah.
Long may his form and
The other thing to remember about a young goalkeeper, he is going to have some difficulties, so we have to remember.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be blips in the road.
We need to sign a backup goalkeeper.
Yep, we do, because maybe Bernd Leno's going, maybe Aubameyang's going. It's funny, 2 seasons ago.
He's gone.
Arteta will give
We've
it to Xhaka.
never heard what his injury is. It's not.
It was a hamstring, I believe.
Reports.
We don't know.
Quad, so.
We don't have any information. We maybe think that the COVID protocols will preclude Aubameyang from Wednesday. Matt, do you think he's playing on Wednesday? First of all, do you think he's playing, or do you think we should play him?
Both no.
Would you be
a big fat no.
If he starts?
Yeah. Well, do you know what? I think the whole COVID protocols thing, I very much doubt that he'll be playing from that perspective anyway. Should he be playing after that breach? Absolutely not. Does he deserve to play on performance? Absolutely not. So on all fronts for me, he shouldn't be anywhere near the team. You know, you've had the likes of Martin. What's that? Sorry, Tony?
Would it surprise you if he started?
Would it surprise me? Do you know what? I think it would. Yeah, I think it would. You can't come out as a manager and moan about a disciplinary breach and then stick him straight back in the squad again, even if he was able. And I can't see that happening. To come out publicly and do that and say that rather than protect him and not really say anything, I can't see him. Even if he was able to play, I can't see him starting that game myself.
Listen, in the interest of saving a little bit of time, does anybody disagree with any of that? Do we all think he shouldn't start? He won't start? We all think he shouldn't start, first of all, right? We all agree Aubameyang should not start Wednesday.
He should have started, but it still wouldn't surprise me knowing Arteta if he gets in there.
Yeah, we won't be surprised if he starts. We won't be surprised if Xhaka is wearing the armband. We won't be surprised if Sambi still doesn't get to play. You know, we won't be surprised of all these things because they keep happening.
It's the non-negotiables that Arteta keeps talking about, but we know that he has allowed some non-negotiables.
It's the ever so slightly negotiable, non-negotiables, yeah.
There's grades of non-negotiables in there. Anyone else want to make a point in terms of Aubameyang before we move off this topic?
Well, you know what? They need to decide what they're going to do and do it quickly because the team as a whole needs to move on one way or the other. You know, that's the problem when they kind of let these things hang around and then they just fester for me.
Yeah.
You know, if he's still going to be in the squad, then he's on the squad, but he needs to work his way back in. If he's going to be gone, then he needs to start working on that exit strategy.
Just do what we did with Ozil and not play.
I don't like the way that they handled Ozil, and I'm not going to – because it didn't help the team. The team still had a problem with it. So
slightly different personality from Ozil to Aubameyang.
Because
obviously not because he posted on Twitter when he wasn't around and – caused a stir anyways.
Now it's
no difference.
Now it's just going to be Uber and his brothers.
It's I disagree with that, Gary. You got me there.
Won't be Ozil and his PR machine.
Yeah. I mean, if he did learn something from the previous incumbent of being the highest paid member of the first team, then maybe he learned something from Ozil's PR team. You know what I mean?
I'll say he's retired in his own head, Aubameyang. Just give him an apprenticeship in Tesco's and send him off.
So it's obvious that the captain needs to be an extension. Captain needs to be an extension of the manager, and that's not happening, Gary. Right?
Yeah, no, you know what now, and then Tierney will have his luggage. He'll get fresh luggage if he's at Tesco, right? So everybody wins.
All right, listen, we shall see what happens. There's probably going to be a daily situation with Aubameyang.
Gary's that double bag. Is that double bag?
He'll get double bags now if Aubameyang's working at Tesco.
Aubameyang Aubameyang disciplined due to late return from an agreed trip to France. Once again, the club protocols set in place were not observed. He did not arrive back on time to a team meeting. This happened before in the North London derby, and it happened in Germany. There's some previous there. We will see what action will be taken and what happens next. But I think we all agree that something needs to happen quick because our season is good. And you go into the new year, there's going to be a lot of cup games. So the actual league program starts to slow down. We've got 3 or 4 quick games, and we need to make the best advantage of the next 4 games.
You have a congested holiday fixtures.
Yeah. So, Tony.
I really would like to see Balogun get a couple of minutes. If you can get 5 minutes to Aubameyang, and that's because Eddie Nketiah gets the game minutes ahead of him, then Balogun can get 5 minutes.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? At this point, where we're going, because Lacazette should get the bulk of the minutes, and if Nketiah is number 2 based on what happened in the last match, right? And there was no disciplinary breach then.
Yeah.
So I think that created it. I believe that created it, or at least set it up, and it just happened. But yeah.
Yeah, then you got holiday fixtures anyway, so we gotta rotate some.
Nice young legs from Balogun during that time. I think that would surprise some teams.
I don't see him getting in there.
What's milk turt?
Third
milk
is
turt.
Milk turt.
Can we start on your next
not milk.
topic,
I
Ray?
had milk tart earlier. Yeah, you're right, Risto. But this is
I'm
a
ready for
cream
this one,
horn.
Ray.
It's a
pretty
horn
cool.
stuffed with cream. Yeah.
Nice.
So Tony, you got your beer section. Maher is going to have his food section. Okay.
Okay.
Tony, you start us off. My title here is Arsenal are afraid to get their shots. Kind of a twist on what's going on in the world right now.
We're playing the worst team in the league yesterday. We take 3 shots in the first half. Somehow, luckily, 2 of them went in the back of the net. You have Odegaard. As soon as it comes to his feet, he puts power in it, kicks it in the back of the net. This time he used his head, but whatever. But he's always kicking it as hard as he can. He doesn't waste time. He doesn't dilly around. I've seen this shit stat that we had 16 passes on our first fucking goal. Who cares? Do 2 passes, kick it into the net. If it goes in, it goes in. If not, try to rebound it and shoot it again. That's the object of the game. You shoot the ball.
Yeah. There's a
I
couple
don't know how
of
many times I've seen us under 10 shots in a game with the wingers we have, the fullbacks we have, the strikers we have. We should be attempting 20 plus shots a game. And we're hardly ever up there.
You know what? The way the
biggest
game
damning thing of him.
Yeah.
He plays this possession-based football. Last week we parked the bus, lose the game. It just, I don't know. Not enough shooting.
I was going to say the reason why the game went that way is because that first 20 minutes, our playing out the back was so poor that we didn't get a chance.
Yes.
As soon as we cleaned that up just a little bit and made that one pass, which is, I think it's the pass from Ramsdale out to who's on the right side?
Tommy,
and then Tommy gets it into Partey, who then, it just starts the flow, and boom, boom, next you know, we score a goal. That's when that happened. And after that, after like 40 minutes, that's when Erdegaard decided, woke up and made 2 nice passes.
Yeah. And
both of our attackers basically failed him. First one was Aubameyang Lacazette coming through the middle. Too many extra touches. Boom, ball.
That chicken on is a heavy.
And then
heavy touch.
Yeah, and then the back heel pass from Erdegaard to Saka, where if he just goes to the far corner, right there, he scores. Extra touch, and then he kicks it tries to go on the short side of the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper's standing right there. And
so, Gary, we're talking about, you mentioned Saka, which definitely is someone we need to talk about in terms of his finishing, but you had Lacazette put through in the middle toward the end of the first half. Didn't take a shot, refused, tried to come inside. the chance is gone. You have Martinelli right at the end of the first half from a great pass from the goalkeeper.
Ramsdale.
Yeah, and then you have numerous opportunities where we're not
three
getting
opportunities that should have been shots on goal.
Mhm.
None of them were shots on goal.
And then in
Gary, the second touches were too heavy.
Yeah.
You know that extra touch that took it away. Like even Martinelli did that, and who else did you say? And Saka did that as well.
Yeah.
It's just we don't take our shots, like the title says.
Yeah. The Martinelli one is the one that I'm surprised at because Ramsdale's. You see Ramsdale with his hands, his face in his hands. Like, what do I have to do? I put the ball on a platter. It's you and the goalkeeper at that point. Just shoot the thing, put it on your left foot, and let it go. If you miss it, you miss it. You didn't even get.
Imagine Ramsdale would have gotten an assist. Ramsdale would have gotten an assist.
That's the kind of football Tony. That's the kind of football Tony wants to see. 1-2 touch and then a goal, right, Tony? It does seem, Tony, we always have to engineer this perfect goal to score.
And like I said, that set of deals was 16 passes. 10 of them was right in front of the goalkeeper before the ball finally went out. Does anybody on the team know what a through ball is?
Yeah.
Just kick it out there. You run onto it. You got speedy players. You got Saka. You got Martinelli.
But you know what? When
pretty quick.
When the passes are poor, you don't even get the opportunity to look upfield. That's what's happened. The passes were terrible. By the time the ball got to them, the defender's right on them, and they have to get rid of it right away. I mean, you can hear the commentators like, "Oh boy," they're like, "Oh no." It's like the whole time they're like, "This isn't working."
Well, flash back to the Everton game. You have Lacazette telling the players to speed up, to pass the ball forward, to attack it, and nobody listened to him.
Yeah. Nice one, Ty.
I mean, he knows what to
Getting
do.
creative there, Ty. Like that.
Aubameyang.
Was that a prepared one or something off the cuff you just thought about?
Nah, that was off the cuff.
Either way,
that was definitely off the cuff.
Obama gone.
Well, listen, Maher, great assist from Saka, but as we're mentioning, Saka needs to take the opportunities when they present to shoot. He had a couple of opportunities at Man United, at Everton, and refused those shots as well.
It's the decision making, it comes with the responsibility of being a pro footballer or a footballer of the highest caliber, or even medium caliber. When you need to take a shot, take the shot. When you need to pass, if you can see your teammate is going to tap it in, don't be selfish. Don't try and take the glory, because then when you miss, or when you shoot it straight at the keeper and he saves it, we are going to berate you, because we're going to be like, damn, so-and-so was waiting. Emil was waiting for the ball. Laka was right next to you. It's decision making that's important, and what makes an elite footballer the ability to make the right decision at the right time. And we never seem to do that. It's just not us for some reason or another.
We play defensive-based football for whatever reason.
Did anyone see the penalty given to United yesterday? Carbon copy of Maguire's foul on Tommy Asu.
Yeah. It was like he was almost put in a DDT, like back on the down. And now that you think about the Maguire incident, it's like, yo, what?
Well, that's just to tell you how the rules are set, right?
Yes.
The rules are set up that way. I mean, if you're not United, City, Chelsea, you're not going to get the goals, those penalty kicks when you probably don't deserve them because you're having a poor day.
Well, to be fair, when Tommy Asu can get booted in the face and not get a decision,
was that not accidental?
You know what? He'll get the next one because I think it takes 3. So after 3, then he'll get the penalty. He'll get a yellow or red or the penalty kick, one of the two.
Go back and retroactively get a red card. You can see he looked at the player's face.
I mean,
we had that Tommy Asu penalty decision that didn't go for us either, didn't we? In the game before, I think it was the United game. Yeah. Unreal.
Sorry, guys, I don't remember, but did we actually call for that penalty?
Yeah. So a lot of the players did get up there, but I don't think they made enough
of a fuss.
Yeah,
right?
they needed. You know what? They needed to get to the point where they got a yellow because they were screaming so much. That's where it needed to go. Then the officials maybe would have taken it seriously because, like, you just took a foot to the face and you tell me that wasn't dangerous? Are you serious? You know, think about it.
But
Your
was that
buddy
not
just got his
momentum?
face stepped on, and they're like, "Nah, nothing happened here."
I think
Gary, was that not momentum? It did look a little bit on purpose.
He looked down, and then he looked away, and his foot just glanced him.
Yeah, so
he knew it was
cheeky
down.
little bugger.
Gary, Tony, and I agree it was a deliberate thing. So I want to bring Matt and Mahir in on this because they weren't here on Thursday for Tony's show.
Go with Matt. Go with Matt first.
So, Matt, what was your thoughts on Godfrey's coming down on Tomiyasu?
Oh, I thought that was a terrible challenge, to be honest. Like I said, I didn't actually see the game because I was driving home from work, had it on the radio, and obviously was listening to it on my way home. And I mean, it didn't sound like a particularly great game anyway, but it sounded quite controversial. But obviously, caught the highlights and saw that particular challenge, and how he got away with that, I will never know. We'll never know. It's just blatant, you know. And I'm never one for for these kind of conspiracy theories. Oh, you know, it's refs against Arsenal, all of this thing. But you do start to wonder when you start to see, you know, those clear decisions. For me, that's as clear as it gets. I don't know how much clearer it needs to be that he puts his foot down on Tomiyasu's face, and I can't see that that's accidental. I can't see watching
it's
that.
Not
that's
even the accidental part. It's dangerous play.
Yeah.
He's dangerous. He almost stepped on his face.
Yeah, you don't need to prove. It looked like there was intent from what we could see, but you don't need to prove that. You just need to prove it was dangerous play.
Yeah.
There's been players sent off for less.
Ridiculous.
Mayor, you kind of agree with that?
Yeah, it was very, very dangerous. I mean, you can take a player's eye out, literally.
Yeah.
Very reckless also. I had to watch. I had about 4 looks at it. And now come to think of it, it looked like it was on purpose. It looked like he looked down, actually acting, and then it looked away like I'm not really doing this, but you guys can see I am actually doing this. If that makes any sense.
I'm not doing this, but I am doing this. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
I mean,
it was
that. You didn't even get a
yellow.
I understand. Okay, I can say, all right, you didn't get a red. You didn't even get a yellow.
That's the thing. These decisions never, ever even go to VAR. There's no real check of anything ever. It's just unbelievable. But then it's always the way, isn't it? We'll play our game on a Saturday or whatever. We'll have some crazy decision that doesn't go for us. And then a big game a day later, you get exactly the same call. It gets a double check and then there's a red card and a penalty. Time and time again. We could every season we could release a compilation DVD of awful decisions.
I think
it's that bad.
Man, that's a great idea. That is a fantastic idea.
I think that's a good way to stress yourself.
In terms of goals against us, goals for VAR has been kind of
decisions going against us compilation.
It's been kind to us, but not in terms of the incidences of GBH against our players. You know what I mean? Grievous bodily harm. Assembled, I agree. Young players today are soft. Can you imagine Cloughy managing today? None of the players would play for him, so he got sacked. They're all snowflakes. So Stephen,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think Saka would mind. For me, I kind of feel like he would. I don't think Gabriel would mind. I think White would probably have a problem with a little bit of that pressure. That's what I think. I mean, I think the team as a whole is soft. I don't think. I mean, if you've seen the Saka get knocked down and get right back up, like, okay, I'm used to this. This is what you guys are gonna have to do, you know, to get me because I'm too good. You know, that's kind of. It seems like that when he gets knocked down and stuff. So, I think he would be okay.
Yeah, I have in my notes here. Referees, the fouls on Arsenal. No protest, no cards. So if you don't protest, you're not going to get cards. And I think
that makes no sense.
Which is a shame, isn't it? Because you think throughout youth football, my time playing youth football all the way up until probably the age of 20, you're always told respect the referee, don't crowd around the referee, none of that nonsense. You know, you have one man goes up to the referee and that's your captain, and you have one man communicating with the referee. You don't do all of this play acting nonsense. You don't rally around the referee and try and force a decision. And if you did that, you get booked or worse. But what has it come to when you've then got to actually do that to actually get the right decision? That just tells you that something's very, very wrong.
We've seen it from Alex Ferguson's teams over 10, 15 years ago. They were doing that, chasing the referee into the corner of the field up at Old Trafford. Matt, since the Invincible season, everyone seems to be allowed to stop Arsenal any method necessary to win. 3 broken legs for 3 consecutive seasons, and they were all not meant, but they did happen. You know what I mean? And there was a spot of that up at Everton as well, where Rafa had sent them out to do that. Godfrey on Saka. He needs protection. Okay, so Tony, great goal. Cross from Saka. We worked the ball out really well. We beat the press. And that's what you have to do with that kind of team. You show them you can beat the press and punish them. Saka crosses the ball. Lacazette has a great contact. And this is what we need with our captain Aubameyang not on the field. Somebody to step up like he did in Northern and Derby in March.
It's what we need, but like I said, 3 shots in our first half's not near good enough. I don't care if we got 2 goals from it. Just you got to be shooting more shots.
Should have had more shots because we had opportunities to get shots away. Tony Adam had taken the ref down when he steps on Tommy. Yeah, definitely. Owned by MUFC Mafia under Ferguson's code. Nice one. Presto play. It's accepted the players to kick Arsenal players up in the air. Allowed to kick our players black and blue. Right, finally got Uncle Artie on the show. All right, Matt, Ødegaard. He's starting to step forward now, starting to score goals. Scored at Old Trafford, scored at Everton, and he got 3rd in a row here. 3 on the spin.
Yeah, I'm glad for him because I know some have got their questions over Ødegaard. I've never really understood it. For me, I think he's a technically very gifted player. I think he does a lot. I think we have mentioned before that I do think he's a little bit lightweight, and I think he needs to step up his kind of physicality in games to really compete in this league. But I think he's got all the right attributes technically to make a difference, and I think he will be an important player for us. And I'm glad that he's adding goals. I think he only had 1 on his loan spell, didn't he, previously? Which was a bit of a thunder strike, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But no, I'm glad to see him.
He had one in Europe, and he had that goal if they gave it to him against Tottenham.
Yeah.
You know,
I like him as a player. I think he's good. I think, like I say, if he can add physicality to his play, and just be a little bit more physical, not give the ball away so much. I think we've got a real player on our hands. So no, glad to see him score. And I think it was with his head as well, wasn't it? So it's nice to see him.
Yep.
Nice to see him score a goal with his head too. Excellent.
Gary, whatever way Kieran Tierney gets the ball into the box, it seems to be working. It seems to have some kind of a deflection. We saw that up at Everton, and then we saw a great technical goal from Ødegaard at Everton. But what I liked yesterday was his timing. And he's gambling as well, Gary, to get into the box.
Yeah, and he just. I mean, if you look at it from the sidelines, and you see when that ball's flying up there, Lacazette hesitates, and
you're going to pick up Aubameyang on Wednesday. I know it.
I'm sorry. I can't. He's in my head. And Lacazette, he sees the ball, but just can't get to it. But Ødegaard is definitely set. He's in a better position to get to it, anyways. And then also in that same time frame, we've got Martinelli blocking off the center back, right?
Yep.
I mean, we had 3 players essentially at closest to that ball.
Working.
I mean, their defense was porous at that point. I mean, their center backs were on the outside of both of our attacking players at that point. So that's what we want, more of that. We haven't seen that with Aubameyang, where you got 3 players like that. And yeah, Tierney was what did you call it? Relentless on that. I mean, he looked like he was going to lose the ball. He looked like it was a nice trap of the ball when he tried to one-time it, back into the box. But
Muskie,
he was able to control himself and then get the pass off. deflected back to him, heads it back in, and voila, there you go. Right. So he's that was really good. Erdegaard, for every negative play he made, we had 2 positive plays. So he was really good in that sense. And that most of that happened in the 20-minute period when things were just poor for Arsenal. Then he started passing the ball forward. I mean, we talked about the 2 chances, but he had multiple other attempts where he was looking to go forward with the ball.
Thanks.
And it just didn't pan out, but he was always looking to go forward with the ball. And like you said, I think these are the types of games that will hopefully give him the confidence that he can do it. Because in the bigger games, he's going to get less of chances, but he's going to have to be ready to get that ball out from his feet and up the field. Because our attackers will attack. Yes, Gabriel is a higher scorer than
Kane.
is higher scorer than Kane. Yes,
we can laugh now. We're almost halfway through the season, and Harry Kane has one goal.
Yeah, and Gabriel could have about 4. He's had some nice opportunities.
Yes.
Yeah.
Erdegaard reminds me, Gary, a little bit about what Ramsey used to do for us.
Yeah, and the women are up 3-0 right now. Who are they playing again? They're playing Leicester. So I think they're going to take an extra. I think Chelsea lost, so they're going to get an extra 3 points lead on them. So it's going to be nice.
Let's do what Arsenal did that year. We did we were the Invincibles. We were beating in the FA Cup, beating in the FA Cup, beating in Europe.
I think we're going to need to do that to keep Viv and Midema. We're going to have to do something like that because I'm still on I feel like she's going to leave us.
She's getting awards. She's gotten accolades. So
yeah, I still feel like, to me that the way that FA Cup went was not good.
No.
And the way that they play against Barcelona, not good. Like they are so far. There's a big gap. Think about it. You can win the Premier League, but then give up 4 goals to Barcelona. All right. I mean, it shows you the gap. But I think Erdegaard looked really good yesterday. I guess 2 days ago now. Is it yesterday?
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
Did you travel with Aubameyang to France, Gary?
I don't. I wish I did, but no, I didn't. Oh, it might be. Yeah. No, I
get a tattoo.
Right
Did you get a tattoo with Oba?
Yeah, that was me out of frame. You couldn't see me. I was the one with the light, making sure the lighting was right.
You're a tattoo artist, Gary.
Are you part of his PR team, Gary?
No, I think Erdegaard for me was really good yesterday.
Yeah.
Looking to go forward, and I think whatever they do for whatever they've done for Milsrif-Rowe, they need to do for Erdegaard in terms of the way he needs to be built up for this league.
Mm.
He's he's a bigger. I think he's bigger than Milsrif-Rowe, taller, but he needs to fill out a little bit more. He needs to get a little bit more stronger, but he'll be fine. Okay. And the thing is, if that's the case, then you just need to be quicker than the other guy because he's going to be slower than you. So that's the trick. Mm-hmm. Just because they're bigger than you doesn't mean they're faster, and you got to use that to your benefit and get the ball, like you said, get the ball out faster. If he does that, we're always going to have runners, man. Especially if he keeps doing it. Those guys are going to be sprinting on either side of him, no doubt about it. So I think that's
There's always been a history of Norwegian and Scandinavian players doing well in the English league and doing well in the Premier League. So I don't think there's any issue with him. I think he's just starting to adapt to the dreaded pace of the Premier League and adapting to the country itself. Tony, what were your thoughts on Erdegaard? Like Gary said,
that's 4 now.
4 goals, awesome.
Frida just scored twice. Is that right? Yeah. So she's Norwegian, I believe.
There you go.
Right? I think Frida Manum is that how you say her name? I think she's sweet Norwegian. So I guess a good day for the Norwegians at Arsenal.
Erdegaard doing it, and now Frida. So yeah, definitely. I think that he's starting to get up to the pace of the league now, Tony. Erdegaard.
Yeah, to me, he was the most disappointing signing of the summer so far because he just didn't hit the ground running like he did. last year, I think a lot of it was mental because he's sitting there talking about the lies at Real Madrid. That's why he wanted out of there. I don't know what was all going on behind the scenes there that had him upset with him. But I don't think his mind was right because last year he hit the ground running. No adapting time at all. He was up for the play. I do agree with Matt. He does need to get more physical. He needs to be like Saka. Saka got a stocky little frame. He needs more training time. But Odegaard's exactly why I said we don't need Uba 2 years ago. Why we don't need it? We need goals from the midfield. We need goals spread around. Because just 2 seasons ago, we had 1 goal the entire fucking season from a midfield. There are no excuses for it.
Yeah.
We don't need a striker that gets 30 goals a season or 25. We can do with one that gets 15. That's fine. We got
if you got
Smith-Rowe,
one, you might as well keep him, right? That's the thing. If you got one, then you might as well keep him.
Yeah.
The problem is that they had one and he disappeared. Same player, same jersey, same number, but they don't got
more
the
years
goal.
on there, Gary. More years on that buddy. 33.
Yeah.
So I think we need both, Tony, to be fair. I think a club like Arsenal needs to, we absolutely need to spread the goals around, but we should have a spearhead.
I think
we should have someone who's knocking 25 goals a season should be what we are aiming for in any striker that we have up front leading the line. But yeah, we absolutely do need to be bagging goals left, right and centre across the midfield as well. We should be doing both.
Yeah, to me, 15 to 20 is good enough on a striker, but I like to see it spread around.
You know, to truly compete, I mean, you look at, to really, really push up the table, you need 25 goals a season, really, I think.
You need a steady goal scorer who's going to take the attention of the central defenders so then your wingers can come in. Or maybe we can do it the other way around and have our winger.
Yeah, we're not coming in this season with midfielders that are bagging 10 goals. That's the problem. So that's why we needed that striker with 20. If we did say if one of our 3 players had 10 goals, then maybe we say, you know what, next year we're going to get another one. So now we've got 2 double digit scorers from the midfield. But we came with nobody. So getting double figure goals and assists is a positive for us right now, right? And that's what we're going to get from Smith-Rowe and Erdegaard most likely as well will get us double digits goals and assists, right? Which would be really good for us. And then if Saka can ever just shoot as soon as you just take the shot, don't think about it, just let it go.
And we're all forgetting about somebody else that we all thought should have got 10 plus goals, 10 plus assists. Pepe, he's non-existent for us this season. Probably go in January more than likely.
We had a Pepe sighting yesterday, and that was a big surprise to me. Nobody would have expected to see Pepe come on.
For 5 minutes. What's the guy?
He's like going on a safari and trying to get sight of a snow leopard.
Sure.
Snow leopard on a safari. So you're not expecting to see the snow leopard.
83 minutes.
He's like a big 6, but the rarest one.
You got 10 minutes.
You said a snow leopard on a safari.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, true. Fair point, Gary. But you know what I'm saying? It's super rare. Super rare.
No, you're probably right.
Fair point. A snow safari.
Mayor, he got 10 minutes. He was brought on in the 83rd minute. So there you go. 10 minutes, okay?
10 minutes.
He looked like he was going to do something, and then the game basically just, the game kind of just died at that point. But he did look promising for a little bit, and then it just died when they realized if they kept this thing going, we were going to score again. So then the game just got away from us, and that's fine because we're up 3. So
before we go ahead, call to action on Gooners here who are watching this. Please share the link that's going to be here. Please share it around Tony'sNewLeg.com. He does need to Tony there, bottom right. He does need to raise some cash. He's out of pocket through the U.S. medical system, and anyone that knows anything about the U.S. medical system is not. They try to collect their money, right, Tony?
Yep.
They're not that forgiving. So let's try and push
Very unforgiving.
Go ahead,
So
Tony.
far, it's been 50,000 getting the leg. I'm responsible for 10,000 of it.
Wow.
Who knew a new leg would cost more than a brand new nice car? But
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Okay.
Tomorrow to the day will be a year since I've had my amputation. Tuesday will be exactly a year since I've had it. But
And it's been a year. We've had Ryan over at Mr. Arsenal podcast had a 24-hour fundraiser for you. We got
double what I raised so far.
Double what you raised, but we still got a ways to go, and we got to keep pushing for that. I'm going to try and reach out to some other podcasts as well, those who have bigger exposure, and we'll see if we can get the message out more than just this channel doing it for you. If Pepe plays 5 more games in 2021, then we have to pay 10 million more for him. Interesting. Okay, so 2-0 up. We go in at halftime. Ramsdale almost hooks up with Martinelli to shoot. Lacazette has an opportunity. So, Mahir, what are you thinking at 2-0 at halftime?
I'm thinking go on and make it 4 and 5. You guys know me, relentless. Put the foot on their neck and don't let them
you
breathe.
wanted 8 goals. You wanted 8-0.
What?
Listen,
no, I'm not so greedy, Tony, but
in the end, it was.
I was looking at about 6.
In the end, it was 3-0. We hit the bar. We hit Woodwork twice. Could have been 5-0. Could have been 6-0. We get a few of those shots away. But this is the kind of thing we need to be a little bit more. Southampton were there for the taking. We're not going crazy here. It was
so poor.
But
it was so poor. I couldn't believe that I was watching a Southampton side be so poor. And I was like, just put it to them, man. Like, put them out of their misery. Just go on and put 4 and 5.
Perhaps, Matt, our candidate for our new captaincy was thinking that way, the way Mahir was thinking. Just put them out of their misery, because Gabriel takes over the first 15, 20 minutes of the second half.
Well, I mean, like we were talking earlier, he's the man, if any, that's going to step up. And like I say, I didn't catch this game live because obviously I don't think it was shown over here. I couldn't get sight of it. I think it was shown on NBC, you were saying. Was that right?
Yep.
Yeah, we did have it. I was looking on Sky, looked on BT Sport, looked on Amazon Prime.
Great, so you can't see a game in your own country.
It's madness, isn't it? Really mad.
It is absolute madness, Matt. Considering all the things we do to watch the football, like I know if my nieces and nephews are watching TV or somebody's like, hey, yo, they call me Mamu as uncle. So like, Mamu, can we watch Paw Patrol? I'm like, yo, go ahead and watch Paw Patrol. Let me put it on for you. And then what I will do is I'll just open up my phone and ask somebody, yo, I need to see the game. And they're like, yo, okay, right here, this is where you go. And a lot of the times being super successful. I've not missed a single second as it's happening, which is...
Well, you pay a fortune. I have BT Sport. Part of that I have the Sky Sports. You have Amazon Prime, which covers some of that. So you think all your avenues are covered. And then obviously you get to the 3 o'clock blackout on Saturdays and you think, oh, great, now I can't watch them. It is mad. But
that's the one thing that we have over here is if your local team's always on TV.
Yeah, that's the way it should be.
If you're in London, you should be able to see any of the London teams. Yep. And at least they get to see it, but it sounds like they don't even get to see it, right? So it's like the whole country's like, nah, you guys don't need to watch this. But over here in the States, I can watch every match. So
mad.
This was our first home win over Southampton since 2018. We do remember the 2-2 draw under Emery. I think it was his last home league game.
Yeah.
But you know what? Talking about Gabriel, and I know we'll probably come on to that in a minute, but his goal was a cracking. He attacked that header really, really well.
Yeah.
From what I can see of the highlights, where I have seen Gabriel, quality.
Out jumping.
Aggressive, made a great run, attacked the ball, bang, straight in.
And keeper also was poor, Matt. You must see the way the keeper, he just reached that and swiped that fresh air.
It was poor
right,
from
the guy's
Southampton
40
perspective.
years old, man. Come on.
I mean,
yeah,
he's
but Gary,
supposed to be out there. He's like, I'm supposed to be, retired somewhere, and now they got me playing here. It's raining
Semi-arthritic
all
goalkeeper.
day.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably like, what?
Well, Gary, didn't we all think this is a 40-year-old goalkeeper that's going to give us some problems? He's going to have that.
I thought he was going to have a master class, right? Just because that's the way it's been.
Fair point.
yeah, people praying for the loss.
So, Gary, we have Gabriel, his first 15 minutes. He has a VAR check on a challenge in our own box. We're all thinking possible penalty given against us.
They were both fighting each other. You could have gone either way on that one. I think it was a good just let it go. I mean, once in a while the officials do just let them play some football. Yeah. I mean, and they both grabbed each other, so it could have been anywhere.
It's just a tussle. Just a physical tussle, small little shoulder lean, get off me.
Tony, Gabriel does score a goal, but is ruled offside. A tap in from the header down from Tomiyasu.
Yeah, that's like I said. He should have 4 or 5 goals already this season. It's nice to see there's such a attacking presence from our defense. It's nice to have that brick shit house that goes out there, just outpowers, goes out there with all his force. And I think that's the main thing, just so much desire and wanting to score it. You see it in that header. He puts all the force in it, straight back into the back of a net.
Formula One.
Just nice to see him.
Mercedes have lodged an official appeal, says Brady. I mean, the whole thing was just a cluster. A little bit in the way they ruled.
A clusterfuck, Ray. Say it right. Come on.
Clusterfuck. After they did what they did, half the people were going to be unhappy and half the people weren't going to.
It didn't matter if it was a clean race. It didn't matter if it was a dirty race. Somebody, like you said, somebody was going to have to lose of the two, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got the Verstappen side and you got the Hamilton side, and no matter what, someone was going to be unhappy. So it doesn't matter what they did. I mean, was it not a good race, or was it just
good race?
Yeah. So.
But a lot of people enjoyed it.
It depended on which camp.
You know what? Hamilton had to chase him.
Tell us what
right,
really
most of the season. He had to be perfect most of the season, right, to catch him. Right, he had to have some really good races just to catch him, and that just shows you where he's at. He's like, you can be ahead of me, but I can still catch you. So yeah.
Right, give us our F1 interlude. Give us your thoughts of a race. Come on.
Guess my thoughts. I thought Hamilton should have won the race. I thought, but I like Verstappen, but I thought Hamilton should have won the race.
Sorry, Ray, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Is that Arsenal bias? Because Hamilton is a gunner.
Where?
But you're trying to take over Sunday's show, right?
Arsenal bias? What?
No, I said. Are you Hamilton? Were you Hamilton for the win because Hamilton is an Arsenal fan?
I saw Anthony's tweet as well. I was like, "Yo, you're all Arsenal fans, and half of you are against Hamilton." Yeah. I did like the reference to the '89 Anfield that it didn't bring Aguero into it in Manchester City, so some people didn't like that either. You lose and you cry about it. Why good last ring? Why good last ring?
Why good last ring?
You lose and you cry about it.
Yeah.
So, listen, 3-0. We did what we needed to do.
Yeah, see, so once again, like Newcastle, how did they play today? Yeah,
Newcastle
exactly. So
lost 4-0.
Yeah, so that it just. I mean, I don't think Spurs are much better than us, but those are the scorelines that we're expecting to get against the teams.
They shouldn't be any better than us,
right?
but they're better than us.
No, but we should be able to score 4 goals on Newcastle. Whether or not they score is a different story, but we're good for 4 on them, no doubt about it. Like we were good for at least it should have been 6 goals to us. Because you count all of the things that went against us, all the opportunities we didn't even take. I mean, there's at least 3 goals there easy, and it should be 4 goals at halftime. But and those are the opportunities that those might be the opportunities we get in the next match, and we have to make them count.
Yeah.
Right. Not the easy ones with the header off a deflection. Right. Those are the ones or break down so terribly that Saka is just streaking down the sideline, and he can put a ball back into the box easy with 3 players running on it. Right. So that may not happen against West Ham.
First goal. Talk about the first goal.
Yeah, the first goal. That might not happen against West Ham, even though their center backs. I think their center backs are going to be a little tired after today. Yeah. Burnley probably maybe beat them up a little bit, which will be nice.
Yeah.
Right, 0-0 match. That means it was a tough match, right?
Absolutely, and a day less rest, so we'll take whatever positives we can take from it. Let's round out the 3-0 win. We're not getting excited, but we should also celebrate each win without going over the top, right? I mean, it's another win, right, Mahir? 3 points in the bag.
Why not? 3 points, 3 points, fam.
26 points now. Where does it leave us in the table, Tony?
It leaves us sixth with Tottenham behind us with 2 games in hand.
Yeah, and that's the thing, Tottenham behind us. They have to go to Burnley, and they have to play whoever they were playing, going to be playing today.
Well, they got to play games in midweek, right?
They've got Leicester and Liverpool, and then West Ham. Oh no, sorry, Leicester, Liverpool, and Crystal Palace.
Yes,
and they could lose. They could lose all 3 of those. Easy.
Yes, come on, Leicester.
So let's hope they lose.
Where's
those 2
Crystal
games
Palace? Is that away or is that home?
Crystal Palace for them is at home.
Oh, okay.
So they've got Leicester away, Liverpool at home, and then Crystal Palace at home.
Right, it's not at Selhurst Park.
Not at Selhurst Park. Does anyone want to play a Kahoot game a little bit later? Or
I'm all in for that.
You're in for that?
I'm in for
that.
You're in, Mahir?
I think
yes, sir.
Well, we're going to talk about the West Ham game, then we'll just have a little bit of fun with that Kahoot game, okay? So, Gary, 3-0. We take 3 points. Our home form is what's sustaining us this season.
Well, I was going to say
19 points from, I think, 8 games.
Yeah, I mean, first things first, you need to be able to control, win your matches at home. Yeah. Then you need to win your matches against teams lower than you on the table, right? You need to win those ones. And then you start thinking about those teams that are supposedly better than you, competing against them. We haven't done that one yet.
Yep.
We haven't done that. Well, you know what? We might find out against West Ham, even though they are depleted, whether or not a depleted top side isn't that good, and we can go out there and run away with the game. That's what we need to do, right? So I'm hoping that's what happens, because we need that. We need to do that. Just trying to see who West Ham played yesterday. So Craig Dawson and Diop, the center backs. I don't know those names.
Dawson is
used to play for Tottenham.
Dawson is like the Mustafi to West Ham. They don't want Craig Dawson anywhere near their team.
So is he going to be on the ground as Saka or Martinelli come into the box trying to?
I hope so. He's usually an OG king, Mahir. Craig Dawson.
Yeah.
West Ham.
We know. Yeah. We know Mr. Dawson.
No, I mean, it's going to be like it was before, right through. Lanzini is going to be the key for us, right? If he's having a good day, we're in trouble. So and
exactly, Arnie. That's what we need here. We need 9 points from the next 4 games. We have 4 games till the end of the season, and our checkpoint at the end of the season, for me, it's got to be 35 points. That's 9 more points from the next 4 games. So right now we've got 26 points from 16 games. We need to get in the next 4 games. We need to pick up about 9 points. So
on the next 2, we can't hit 50%, right? when we're halfway through the season?
Next
Of
to
your
what?
goal. I said out of your goal, we can't be at 50% after the next 2 games, can we? With 6
50% of
points.
what?
Our target that you always put up there. What the fuck do you think I'm talking about?
You're pissing him off.
Don't mince your words, Tony. Don't mince your words.
Ray,
He
you're
just
pissing
had
him
it up
off.
there.
Answer his question.
No, he's saying from the percentage. Is 50%?
What's
Is
our percentage
50%
if we
okay?
get 6 points in the
We
next
can't
2
be at
games?
50%, or can we?
What should I be
Okay.
saying that, Ray?
If we win 3 more games, that's another 13%.
That's not what I'm asking. If we win the next 2, what are we at?
We win the next
Below
2, what
50%?
percent?
Ray, what do you
point.
answer the
That's
man's
the halfway
question so we
mark.
can move on, please?
That's 18 games, Ray.
46 point something.
No, we're not.
We
We're
are
not.
46%.
He doesn't
not
want
there yet.
guesses. Give the man the answer. Jeez.
We're halfway
From
through
the
the
next
season
2
and we're not
games,
halfway to a goal in 2 games.
if what the results exactly?
First of all, I'm not understanding what you're asking.
I was asking in 2 games if we'd be on below or on our target.
We'll be below.
That's
Because
all I was asking, Ray. It wasn't that difficult of a question.
we're on 26 points now. If we get 32 points, it's 2 wins in the next 2 games. That's 32. That's still less than half of 66. Okay. I'm glad I answered that sufficiently.
Way to go, Ray. Way to be
All
prepared.
right, so Matt, West Ham's coming in, and as I mentioned to Gary, I think I was mentioning, we've dropped some points on the road. Our home form is sustaining us. We do need to pick up a landmark win against one of the bigger teams, and West Ham's slightly bigger than us right now.
Yeah, this is the team we need to do. We need to get points against away from home. I think, like I say, our home record, just looking at it at the moment, we're actually second overall in terms of our home record this season so far, behind City. Yeah. In fact, drawn on points, so equally on 19 points at home this season from 8 games played. So that's pretty impressive. Actually, the Emirates is becoming a little bit of a fortress, so to speak.
Yes.
But the away table, when you look at that, we're actually 11th. So,
7 points.
We really do need to address that and start picking up points on the road. I think West Ham really, I think obviously we're at home to West Ham, aren't we?
Yes.
So I'd like to think that our form at home will continue and hopefully we'll get a result. It's a team, particularly as they're in 4th place, we should be aiming to beat them and nick 3 points, especially if we want to kind of go into Christmas on a little bit of a mini run and kind of pick up points and kind of get back to where we were before kind of United and Everton and the Liverpool games and start building some confidence again. So that's a big game for me, that West Ham game. We really do need to pick up those 3 points. And I think it would give the whole team and the fan base a bit of a boost if we did that. Am I confident in us doing that? I'm on the fence at the moment.
That's fair. I mean,
I'm not entirely confident.
I think a lot of us are, Gary. We're on the fence. This is a game that may give us a clue as to what our season's going to be like.
Yeah, and once again, it comes down to our midfield, right? If we can win the midfield, if we can, if we're not talking about Souček and Rice and Lanzini in this match, we should be able to. That means we're controlling things in there, which we haven't been able to do against the big teams yet. Seems to be a breakdown there. So we're going to need to do that. So whatever Burnley did, and I don't think Burnley is stacked better than us in terms of players. So whatever they did, we need to be able to do that and then take advantage when we get the ball. So, yeah, I mean, their back line, we need to attack, and I guess we're going to do that, right? The way we've been playing, we're going to take it. We should be able, if we play the same way we played last match, when we get our opportunities, because they're going to be less. So, Tony, they're going to be less. I expect them to be less, but I would love them to be just as much as far as opportunities. But they're hurt in the middle on our back line. We need to take advantage of that, whatever that means, whoever that goes to in terms of players attacking that middle of the back line. We need to do that. Maybe Lacazette gets the first 60, 70 minutes, and then we rest him and put somebody else in there to do the same thing. Move Martinelli over and then bring Pepe in. That'd be pretty cool. So, yeah. So, yeah. Now we need to get the points. We need to get the win. We need to get a win, right? We need to play much better than the first 20 minutes of the last match. We can't do that against them. They will punish us. I mean, Antonio and Ben Rama, I think would love for us to do what we did in that last match. I mean, the giveaways were so poor. You can't do that. Yeah. I mean, they're good on their own, just attacking you in the midfield. But if you do it on your back line, so
this is going to be an interesting game, Gary, because you mentioned it's going to be about midfield, and Burnley have softened them up a little bit. I think they're getting maybe tired in December as well, and it's something maybe we can take advantage of. Their back line is going to be weak with Dawson and I think Diop in there, and I think it's something we can have. They might score on us, but I think we can definitely score on them as well.
You have Kahoot running in the background, Ray. I swear
Kahoot running in the background with that music. Yeah, the pin is 336-8224. So we'll see how many.
There's Kahoot. So
much audience participation. Ready. You're gonna have to really set the standard. So if Brady's in there, he's fast and he's good.
I had some beginner's luck last time.
I've been making them maybe too easy as well, so I'm going to make them more difficult. Reddy.
You're just lucky because I was on holiday.
Looking at you, Reddy. We're making them more difficult now.
It's fighting talk, Tony.
Yeah. So we'll see who's in. We've got 4 people in right now. It's always Arteta out guy. Who is he?
Arteta out.
Always, that's Mahir. He's always Arteta out. Tony, let's do the Don Juan man in the match, Tony.
I did get to talk about the game.
Go ahead.
Both teams have struggled. The last 5 games were 9th in form table. They're 11th. This is a win that we have to have. Like I said, we got to get as many points as we can before the transfer window opens. Hopefully we get it. I'm kind of like Matt. I don't know if we'll win it. We should, but it's 3 points we desperately need. If not, we're going to be back 8th, 9th.
Definitely. And Tony, if we drop points at Brentford, for whatever reason, we're not going to relitigate that. And Everton, points that we shouldn't have dropped. Maybe Brighton, maybe Crystal Palace. We have to pick up some
Crystal
points.
Palace, we should have lost, Ray. Don't bring that one up.
Should have lost, could have won, did draw.
Should have lost.
It's over. Lacazette popped up. We've got 5 players.
We got lucky, Ray. Come on.
Yeah, well, we should have beat United, and we should have beat Everton, right? So
those are points, Gary. We're gonna maybe look back at the end of the season and hope we were.
Are we going to Don Juan now?
That's how it's supposed to work, right? When you're the better squad. On your poor days, you still get points.
Those are going to be your fine margins at the end of the season that will cost you between 8th and 6th.
Are we going to the Don Juan now?
Europe or no Europe?
Yes, Tony. We're just characters in your world. Go for
it. Whatever you say, Tony.
For me,
he's the de facto host.
My hair just went meep there.
Well, he's probably playing still though. He wants to concentrate. Ready? He's trying to give you competition. Ready?
For me, it's Odegaard or Gabriel, but to me, it was Odegaard finally getting on form.
Yep.
Took him a while, but he's there now.
I will definitely agree with that. Odegaard is my player of the match. The Don Juan thought he had a difficult start. He wasn't finding players, but once he got into the groove, everything rotated, everything moved around him. So Odegaard, but this was a game you were going to look good in. Southampton didn't Southampton were easy pickings on the day. Matt, what do you think? Even if you didn't watch the game and you were dialing in on the radio, it's still okay. You get an opinion as well.
What, in the overall performance, or
your man of the match nominees?
Oh, my man of the match nomination. I give it to. It's difficult, isn't it? Without having seen it fully, I would probably have gone. I don't
want to skip over you.
No. It's good. I'm just trying to think of the limited things I've seen. I'm going to give it to Odegaard.
Honorable mention for me, Tommy Yasu. I thought he had a good game as well on the right side. Gary?
Yeah, no, I mean, for me, like I said, I went back and watched the match, and everybody did their part in this match. I mean, it was hard to, you could look at if you looked at the negatives of one player, you would see the same negatives in other players as well. So it was all around, we had more positives than negatives as a team, which was really good. Erdegaard stood out for me a lot. Basically, making, as far as getting our attack moving forward, he did that a lot. He had at least 2 assists that he didn't get because our players were all too busy with the extra touch. And I think I was texting, I don't know, for those who, for us on the DMs on Twitter, basically, it was like within like a 2-minute period, 2 touches, 2 extra touches, one by Lacazette and one by Saka, basically took away potential assist for Erdegaard. So he was really good there. It was really, like I said, it was a really quiet day from Partey in a good way, that you didn't notice he was there because, one, he wasn't making any mistakes, but the continual flow from him for upfield was great. It was great.
Yeah.
Did a couple of nice things as well, which has redeemed himself with the fan base.
Yeah. Xhaka had some poor plays, but there was one play where I kind of went back through it. Xhaka gets the ball, and I'm like, give the ball back to Erdegaard. He doesn't, but then he turns around and gives it to Tierney, and that's the one where Tierney then they swing the ball back around to Saka, and then it comes back around. But who knows what would have happened if he just gave it to the guy right in front of him. He looked at Erdegaard and then spun around and swung it around the other side. And it was like, why do you do it? We scored on it, so it was okay. But it was just like, dude, you give it to him. Give it to Erdegaard in the middle of the pitch where he can decide where the ball goes, because that's his job. Your job is to get him the ball, right, when he's open. But so I think everybody had their bad parts, but it had a lot of good parts to this game. So
yeah,
Erdegaard did it for me. Like I said, I think nobody stood out negatively in this game. Let's just say that, because sometimes we look at these matches and we're like, oh, this guy had a really poor match. Not yesterday.
Monologues.
What?
Monologues.
Hello.
What?
There comes one of Gary's monologues. We saved that for the end, Tony. All right.
I don't know where you're going with that. And then he did it again. Oh, is that a second? Oh, it's the same thing. Okay.
All right, Tony, you've given Erdegaard the man of the match, so we'll go with that. And without further ado, we will start the game. There's 5 of us in this time, so
hurry up, Ray. I'm tired of the music.
Participation is growing. Well, we're refining our ways so we can get more people in here. So, okay, let's do this. Ready?
Or mute.
Let's do this, people.
One of them goes, take these things off, okay? Right? Take the banners off. Because Gary needed to see Mahir one day. And Mahir has to apologize if he looks angry. It's really because it's South Africa and it's hot down there.
It's humid. Sorry, guys. It's absolutely humid. It's 11 o'clock at night.
The Northern Hemisphere have to remember this about the Southern.
It's almost summer there. Almost summer.
Do you know, guys, can I tell you? It's 11 o'clock at night and it is probably 30 degrees.
Wow.
So like I could switch off my mic and my audio.
That's height of summer for Britain. in Britain in summer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's mad.
Okay. Everybody ready? And we'll have a little bit of chit chat at the end. Ready? Reds is the favorite. Is the bookie's favorite right now. Who will come
I think
second?
he's got the fastest internet.
I will give maybe Matt or Gary could come second. Here we go.
Go on.
Hey, I won the first one, asshole.
What's the language for? What do you mean? What's the language?
This was Thursday night show, but it's held over till this weekend. Name the former Arsenal player who scored in the Southampton fixture last season. Chambers, Chamberlain, Walcott, or Roby. Who scored in the reverse fixture last season? Arsenal versus Southampton. Two correct answers of Theo Walcott.
I got a delay here.
Two Iwobi's and one.
Get your excuses in, Gary.
Tony went for Chambers, right, Tony?
Matt plugged out my internet.
Okay, so Matt and Gary are off to a good start. Rids, I can't believe you didn't get that one. Don't throw it again just for these guys. Here's the second one. Name this Southampton midfielder. Hopefully you can see him. He is a Southampton midfielder. England.
Maybe he'll be the Arsenal midfielder soon.
Exactly. Armstrong.
Sure, that could be a possibility.
Bednarik or Shane Long.
I think I've got this wrong, but I've struggled with that one.
Three creds.
I knew it was going to be Ward-Prowse.
Ward-Prowse is the answer.
Damn it.
Bednarik.
James Ward-Prowse.
And I'm thinking they're too easy. Everyone's going to get all of them correct.
I should have known that.
Gary's in the lead. Gary, don't blow it. You're in the lead now.
Don't jinx me.
Oh, Gary!
I threw that away.
I'm on it. Usually start strong.
Tony, you were slagging me off for not thinking you're going to win this, and you're dead last on 0, Tony.
Hey, I start off good, then I lose.
Just saying, Tony. Matt.
I can't believe I got the Theo Walcott one wrong.
Against which team did Hassan Hüttl be overcome with emotions when they beat this team? Which team did Hassan Hüttl cry on the sideline against?
Guessing, yeah.
Sheffield United, City, Chelsea, or Liverpool? It was an emotional win for him, obviously. 3 correct answers of Liverpool. He beat Liverpool 1-0 at the same time last season. The two, whoever picked Man City, were incorrect. So this is good. I mean, not everyone is getting all of the answers right. Matt has taken the lead. Rids is second, and Gary is very close to Rids.
Well done, Rids.
Third place. Pressure's on now, Matt.
Guess on my behalf.
Matt and Gary, come on, give them some competition. Matt here, Tony, do some work here. Who scored for Arsenal in the reverse fixture versus Southampton last season? So Theo Walcott scored. Who scored the other goal? And it was a 1-1 draw. Aubameyang, Lacazette, Rob Holding, or Martinelli?
Ugh.
Who scored our goal? When we were really, really
this,
bad, Gary. When we were really, really bad. Aubameyang was the correct answer. Everybody got it wrong. Do you not remember Saka's great skill on the left side to set Aubameyang in?
Oh, you're right. Okay, I remember that now. Yeah.
Everybody got it wrong. Reds, come on. No progress in the score. Matt's in the lead. Reds and Gary close second. Tony and Mahir in the relegation spot. All right. 5 of 10. Name the Arsenal goalkeeper caught smoking while playing against Southampton. This player was smoking in the dressing room. Bernd Leno, Fabianski, Chesney, or Czech. 5 of you got this correct. Chesney. It was Wojciech Chesney. He didn't last much longer at the club.
Ooh,
Matt
close.
is in the lead. Gary's second. Rids is third. And Mahir and Tony is too close to call for the wooden spoon.
This is close.
Former Southampton winger now playing for Liverpool. Mahrez, Son, Timo Werner, or Sadio Mane?
No. I'm gonna go here. Just guessing.
It's playing for Liverpool. There's only one player here who plays for Liverpool. 4 correct. Sadio Mane.
I didn't. You know what? I didn't check out the little trick there. Oh boy.
What trick?
Liverpool.
Yeah, former Southampton winger now playing for Liverpool.
It's close. It's close.
It's really close.
Even with Rids and Gary as well.
There's less than 100 points between the first three. Myers pulled away from Tony a little bit. Come on, Tony, prove me wrong.
This is a very close one.
7 of 10. What year did Perez score the goal in the FA Cup final beating Southampton? In what year did we beat Southampton in the FA Cup? 2003, 2001, 2005, 1998. What year did Perez score the goal? 4 correct answers of 2003.
Oh, got it right.
I guessed.
2001 was incorrect.
Guessed correctly there.
Reds has a streak of 3 now. He's coming. But Matt and Gary are in the lead. Mahir and Tony is too close to call. Tony, you got a shot here to get above Mahir. 3 questions left. Bergkamp would score his debut goal versus Southampton. How many games did it take Bergkamp to score his first goal for Arsenal? 5 games, 8 games, 3 games, or 10 games?
I guessed. It's just guessed are one of my favorite numbers.
That's fair enough. 2 correct answers of 8 games. It would take Dennis Bergkamp 8 games to score against Southampton. Whoever picked red or orange were incorrect.
I got that wrong. Oh no! Well done, Reds. Well done.
King Reds. We're gonna have to start calling him King Reds. He's taking the lead.
My hair's pulled away.
Mahir's pulled away from Tony.
He's done
2
well
left.
as well. 6
No chance. Who scored Arsenal's winning goal versus West Ham last season? Who scored Arsenal's winning goal versus West Ham last season? Saka, Danny Ceballos, Eddie Nketiah, or Cedric? We did beat West Ham at home last season. 2-1. 2 correct answers.
Yeah, Eddie came on late, right? And
Eddie the Eagle came on. And remember, him and Danny had been fighting. Danny Ceballos actually set it up for him. They were fighting on the rondos.
No, I'm down in third. No.
I would say the points are so far apart now that this is the final placing, but we have one more question to go. Rids has done it again. We gave him a run for his money, I think.
He can beat Gary. Come on.
What are West Ham forever blowing? Bubbles, leads in games, we hope on Wednesday. Candles, irons. What are West Ham forever blowing? Bubbles, 4 answers of bubbles. Whoever picked irons is incorrect. There we go. Thursday night, it's now Sunday. 3rd place.
Matt,
well done, guys.
Matt, can you see me? I see you down there.
Smashed it.
How many have you won now, Rids? How many has he won?
He's won 3.
Runners up.
Good effort, guys.
Good job.
Okay.
Jeez!
Tony, you confirmed what I thought about you.
That was good.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Good bit of
Ray,
fun.
you won the first one.
Do you know what? Up to the 6th question, it was really tight, and then it just kind of pulled away those last 3 or 4 questions.
Yeah. King Reds did it again. Look.
Jeez!
Did you throw the first couple of questions, Rids? Because you had a bad start. You know what I mean?
Don't forget I was fighting infection and all that shit last year, Ray.
Yep, definitely. So
I had other things on my mind besides who scored what fucking goal.
What? Why are you playing this? You can't
absolutely.
just because you lost, you can't be sore loser. Come on.
I'm not a sore loser.
Salty.
Well,
I don't care who scored.
Let's remember.
Last year in football is a blur to me.
Stan the man played one game and then he deleted the app. He was so pissed off about it. Anyway.
Russ, our guy Stan, bro.
Russ, why weren't you in there? Russ didn't play.
You would have done well tonight. I wasn't on.
Yeah,
top form
definitely.
tonight.
He's like Stan. He deleted the app.
We'll try and get Sam in here. He's in high demand these days. You know what I mean? Stan deleted the app. I don't think he's going to do it. Steve Denham, download that Kahoot app. Who else? Russ Morgan. Oh, you had it downloaded.
Yeah, Russ.
You're ready.
Uh-oh. Stan's Spidey senses went off.
Oh, he's in the comments, is he?
Is he?
Yeah.
There he is. Yeah, I can see him.
Stan! You came out just to come in
There
here.
he is.
Dan, I'm saying nothing but the truth there. I thought you were joking when you said you were going to delete the app, and yeah, that's what you did. You know what I mean? Anyway, a little bit of fun. 5 people playing. There is room for 5 more. We can get 10 people in here one day. Absolutely
love that feature. By
it was fun. It's fun.
So good.
Do you want harder questions? Panel.
I think you've done well. I think you've got a good balance of questions.
Balance.
Yeah.
It's a little unfair for some because I delve into the history a little bit, and then you're sort of guessing, right?
But every day's a school day. It's an educational tool as well.
Exactly. All right. You look reflective, Gary. So I'll go to you first for your final thoughts. And I'm off on Wednesday, so we'll be having Charlie on from West Ham for the pre-game show. Mark your calendars down for that. We might go a little longer because I do enjoy chatting with Charlie. It's good to open up to other fans of decent clubs. We like Liverpool. We like the lads of Liverpool. We like West Ham. We like Charlie. And even Rich from Man United. He's okay. He's all right. Because he's suffering like us, Gary. You know what I mean?
Not anymore.
He's experienced Arteta in the form of Ole. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so...
You do remember United finished second and third under Ole, don't you, Ray?
So, yeah, before I go to Gary, real quick, do you want us to be like that, Tony? Get a flash in the pan, go second, and then it dies?
I want us in the top 4, Ray. I don't care how we do it.
Fair enough. Gary, final thoughts, and we'll be around on Wednesday. Hopefully, most of you.
Gary
guys
just changed locations on us.
Matt's going to be busy at work, right?
Yep.
The rest of us might be Skyping.
Sadly.
Gary's from his Goodyear blimp looking down. Look at him.
Well, actually, Gary, when is it?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. What time Wednesday?
Wednesday, 6:30, 6 p.m. UK time.
I might be able to make that. I might be able to because I'm actually working at home this week. So
do
I
it
might be able to
safely. Don't drive and flip people off.
Do you know what? I'm actually working from home all this week, so I might actually be able to jump on that one.
All right, cool.
Is dinner ready yet, Matt?
Gary's one.
I can hear it cooking.
Gary's
There's rustling going on.
Maybe that 5th continent's going to call one day, Gary, but maybe not Wednesday, right?
I'm waiting for Gary to make his Chilean debut.
Yeah. No, so yeah, as far as final thoughts, yeah. So we had a really good match. We had lots of opportunities. We need to build on that. West Ham is down. Once again, we're playing a team who is down. That is going to be a tough out for us, right? We need to take advantage of it. We haven't taken advantage of the last 2 matches where we had opportunities to get something out of it. This one needs to be done, and hopefully we stay young, meaning, maybe Aubameyang doesn't play, and we'll stay young and play the way we've been playing. That'd be nice to see. Punish them. Yeah, if Ray gets the shirts out to us, we'll wear them.
I will do that. That's my New Year's resolution. Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I'm expecting to see. Hopefully, not much difference once again with our lineup. I mean, Emil Smith Rowe didn't play, but he was on the bench. So does he come in? Martinelli's been playing pretty well. Will that change things around? Otherwise, I guess we're gonna Jacques and Partey gonna stick. He's gonna stick to that. So get used to it. Zombie. I mean, Zombie was supposed to be the backup.
Gary.
Zombie was the backup coming in, just like Tavage was the backup coming in. They've shown that they can hold up their own if needed. That's what we wanted. So with that in mind, we're in a good spot, whether we go with Tavage or and Zombie or not. So that's a good place to be. So yeah, I expect we should get the 3 points. That's what we need. We need to beat one of those teams. Why not start on Wednesday? Start on Wednesday maybe and do that.
Mark your calendar. We'll be there. We'll be doing that. Just tell us real quick, Gary, your background, as if most of us know what it is. But
so it's a view from high above London. I guess to my left is Highbury, and to my right is Emirates Stadium. So yeah,
we need to be the best team in London, and that's where you're going for, right? The best team in London.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. Yes, yes, we need to be the best team in London, and so far, we have to be. And we have to play. We need to see once again what I always ask for. Can we get just a little bit better from the last match? All right, just give me a little bit better from what I saw last time around. So.
In terms of, I'm going to go to you, Gary, then Matt, then Tony. You're getting the last word again, so that's a privilege, right? That's respect to you. Gary, was this one of our better performances at home against Southampton?
Oh, against Southampton?
Yesterday. Was it better than Aston Villa?
For season?
No, I don't think so.
Aston Villa was better.
Because they're a better team, so so for me, no.
Okay. All right. It seems like, Matt, a long time ago since we talked about Aubameyang. We had a good podcast here. We covered a lot of grounds. What's your closing thoughts? And thanks as always for joining the team.
No, thanks for having me on. Yeah, well, on Aubameyang, don't want to see him anywhere near the squad for quite some time. Hopefully see him off in January and let him buy Lamborghinis and gold wrap his cars somewhere else. I just want to see a decent replacement come in. I don't want to see us cheap out and go for a cheap option. We need a proven goal scorer. But when it comes to West Ham, we've had our blip in the road. We've had a great run up until kind of the United, kind of Everton, Liverpool games. We got walloped a bit. We started to kind of slowly get back on our horse. Hopefully the Southampton game is the first game of us doing that. I'd really like us to go and continue our home form against West Ham, go and get a win. And I think that would be a big confidence boost to allow us to go on then and have another little bit of a run and start picking up some more points. So it's a really key game, especially going into Christmas. We want to go in positively. So I want to see a big performance. I think for me, I'm probably going to go for a 2-1 win. I think it'll be fairly close. I think they'll put up a decent fight, West Ham. But I'm going to edge on a win, an Arsenal win.
I would love to say win, and I was going to say win, but then I'm looking at this banner at the bottom where there's a D somewhere. There's a D somewhere coming along the line, right?
Yeah.
I hope it's not Wednesday. It wouldn't be the end of the world to get a draw, but I'd like to get that win because it's more of a statement win.
Yeah.
I echo what both you and Gary said about Aubameyang and moving forward, and we've covered all that ground tonight. But Wednesday we'll pick it up again. I'm sure there'll be more to come out from Aubameyang and what's happening there. But Tony, and first of all, Mahir, thanks for being here as well, Mahir. And Tony, take it away.
On the football side, this is kind of a must-win game for us. 2 games from the halfway point of the season. Holiday fixtures coming up. Both teams are struggling. We've got 6 points out of the last 5. They've got 5 points out of the last 5. So the game's out there for the taking. We need to, like I said, we need to get as many points as we can before the holiday fixtures for the January window. We need to get all the wins we need. Hopefully we start shooting more. I wish Odegaard would go out there and be our coach for the strikers. Go out there, just shoot the ball. 3 shots and a half is pathetic. I hate Arteta's way of coaching. I don't like the defensive setup. Just 3 shots. No, thank you.
Yeah. It feels like we play better than just 3 shots on target in first half, but that's what happened. You know what I mean?
That's what happened. We won. We're up 2-0. We should have been up 4 or 5-0, but hey. And this time last year, as a Sunday, I was sitting there waiting to have surgery, have my leg amputated. And it's been a roller coaster year, but I've always been in good spirits.
You have.
It's not like I lost anything. It's what I've gained from it. It's been an interesting year, to say the least. Lots of challenges that Ray kind of knows about that I haven't talked about in front of everybody, but it's nice to be here. Missed being here. And like Gary says, don't waste the trip. Seize the day. Today's a gift. Yesterday's the past. Tomorrow's the future. Living today. You don't know what tomorrow holds if tomorrow's going to come. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Listen, I personally don't ask for too much from the viewers here, but I would really appreciate it. Whoever does watch and we get close to 100, maybe sometimes when we excel at what we do, we get a little bit more than 100 views. It's always nice to get the views, but I wish each and every one of you would take the link and share it around for Tony here. We'll really try and push this now. Tony did lose something, but he's gained way more than he's lost from what he's talking about, the way he's talking. So we want to do something for us and do something for the channel. Just the spirit of the holidays. Share the link around, please. Implore some people to give the price of a coffee, a donut, whatever. It's all going to help. And
raise ice cream budget. Raise ice cream budget.
My ice cream budget, indeed. But listen, we'll leave it there. Matt, Mahir, Gary, thanks for joining. Tony, thanks for being here. And of course, everyone in the chat section, you're all legends yourself, even though you're calling each other legends.
Absolutely.
I just want to thank everyone on the panel and in the chat for a great show. Thanks, guys. I think we'll get into a situation where we do call out everybody that has come and been here in the chats, but we're not going to do it tonight. You've heard us for enough time now. We're going to get out of here and leave some room for Wednesday, right, Gary?
Yes.
And shout out, Gary. You're going to be over at the Red Cannon tomorrow, and some of these degenerates here may be joining you.
That's right. Yeah. So if you're up late on the UK side, at least it's 12:30 a.m. Red Cannon. Otherwise, if you're on the US side, it's 7:30 on the East Coast.
What's for dinner, Matt?
Yeah, what's for dinner?
Do you know what? I think it's pasta bake.
Okay.
I think it's pasta bake.
Good,
yeah, there were murmurings of sweet and sour chicken, but I think it's turned to pasta bake. So
can you not smell it in there?
I can't quite smell it. No, I hope she's not falling asleep. My smoke alarm's not gone off yet, so I think she's still awake.
So listen, one other thing. We all give our time freely. This is what we do. We love Arsenal. We love to be talking about Arsenal. We love being here with all of you in the chat section. So, yeah, give something back. Please share the link about Tony. It is tonysnewleg.com. Yep. Right, Tony?
Yep.
So, yeah, go check it out.
You got it right, Ray.
Take a look at it.
Screw up this time.
slap a like on the way out. If you're new around here, you're not watching, or you're not subscribed, it's completely free. And then maybe you get notifications from YouTube. It's kind of spotty like that. We'll see you until next time. We got 3 points, celebrate it, and we go again against West Ham. Say good night, Tony.
Good night, Tony. Even though it's midday.
See how
Night, John boy.
All right, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.